welcome to the FN Hangout. I am not the captain, but I am the lieutenant around these parts. I am Zenith from the DGen Roundtable, and sorry to inform you this, but RG3 and the gang are off gallivanting around Europe having a absolutely fantastic time. Which, by the way, we are going to cover some of the travels of a wild SJ, because she posts some of the absolute craziest views right now traveling Europe. I want to say they were in Greece for a while, but yeah, they're touring the world, laying down the foundation for the future of Hexicans and PulseChains everywhere. And I know I gave RG3 a little rub on a show earlier this week when someone asked me, if Richard Hart disappeared, who do you think could fill those shoes and actually fill that gap? And I proposed RG3 because I think he has a positive vision of the future for Hexicans and PulseChains and blockchain freedom and DeFi everywhere. So with that being said, hello again. I might have mentioned it previously, but I'm Zenith. You can catch me on Twitter at ZenithDI. You can send me memes. You can send me conspiracy theories, anything you want, and I will happily review it, chat about it, and reply with you. At the same time, though, I did just get done with a 2-hour stream breaking down an 1850 philosopher book railing against socialism. So this is long awaited. Oh, that sounds so good. All right. Now we're ready. Cool. Excellent. Well, folks, you know what this is. This is the FN Hangout. If you want to come hang out, chat, cut it up, hang out on stream and let your cat walk across the keyboard, do whatever you want. The link for the StreamYard, I believe, is down in the description below. Mrs. Producer, aka our disembodied voice of God for this episode, please correct me if I'm wrong, or just make it so. But until then, I will just assume that the link is down there. So if you want to join, come hang out, hop on the StreamYard. This has been a very, very big week, in my personal opinion, for cryptocurrency stuff in general, largely due to macroeconomic factors. So to start off the show, I guess we can talk about how inflation is technically down per the latest report that came out on Thursday. We are now at 3.0% inflation for year over year. Congratulations, everyone. We are still only 50% above where we should be. It's taken long enough. And I want to say one of the fun facts was that we are 39 months straight of having inflation year over year as above 2%. It doesn't like average it out, because obviously when we had that massive spike of about 10 to 12%, it was a lot for a while. And that was about a year. And now for the last year, we've been chopping somewhere between 3.0 and 3.7%. But the good news is this, which is that because inflation's starting to come down, and the other stat that the Federal Reserve looks at is unemployment. Unemployment is still not through the roof, and it's not higher than where it has been recently, which is creeping up to about 4%. This is an unconfirmed rumor, but my understanding from the sources that I've read is that the magical number is 4.2% unemployment is where the Federal Reserve is going to start considering lowering interest rates for the pure purpose of getting business activity moving and unemployment down. So, assuming that stays where it is, inflation at 3.0% right now is very good, because it means we are in a consistent downtrend, and the Fed can theoretically, in the near future, start to lower interest rates. So congratulations to everyone out there that wishes to purchase a house potentially, because it might become a little more affordable. Granted, it's probably going to be a quarter point for the percentage, but at the same time, it's more than nothing. And with compounding interest, it can add up to a lot. Yeah, that's what we got. By the way, Mrs. Producer, can we pull up that comment from our good friend Farmer Brown? Oh, shoot, we have a lot of comments in here. If inflation is down, I'm 7 foot tall. Well, I guess, Farmer, you're a very tall man, because guess what? Inflation is down, but it's not that down per se. Alrighty, we do have a lot of people in here. Hey, we have Agent J from the DGen Roundtable. Unemployment ticked up another 0.1%. Oh, shoot, that means we're at 4.1%. Thank you for the correction. By the way, yes, we are. I am from the DGen Roundtable. We have a whole stable of folks over there who stream and talk about all the stuff going on here. And RG3 is crazy enough to throw us the keys to the ride while he's gone. So if you see anybody with DGen Roundtable in their name, I'm pretty sure it's someone from my team. If it is not someone from my team, I will know. And I don't know why you're doing that. We're not that important or famous yet. I don't know if we ever will be, I'll be honest. But with that being said, Bit Finesse, we got a comment here. It says, the Fed was created to remove boom and bust cycles. Now we have boom and bust cycles where prices never drop. Let's make Hex a world reserve currency so we can all be an honest monetary system. And keywords there at the end, honest monetary system. That is what we all aspire to. I mean, if Hex could do it, it could, but at the same time, Hex is designed to be inflationary and reward patience and delayed gratification. So shout out to everybody out there that has some stakes going, especially if you have a Cuatro Cinco stake going. By the way, Mrs. Producer, if you just want to start pulling up some of these, that would be fantastic. I know we got Fast Abdul. I think he was the first chatter. He was asking, who's the captain now? Me. I'm the captain now. And if someone else wants to hop on, maybe they can be the captain for a bit. We got one Hexy Mofo saying, hello, Hexicans. Good to see you. After that, we have Dr. Gibbles, Captain Save-A-Ho. No, that is not me. No hoes around these parts. I live in the desert, dude. Not quite. 8 Hex loading. $8 Hex. Ooh. If that's a serious price prediction, we might be able to pull that up on the charts and talk about it and see where in the band of probabilities it falls. All right, we're gonna keep going. We got a bunch. Melv Tony, good evening. Hello, fellow Hexicans, not hello Hexicans. Fellow Hexicans. Good to see you, Melv Tony. Oh, CCC MRV. When Hex ETF? Ooh, that's the question. I know one of the objections you might get to this is that with all the SEC stuff going on right now, it's probably not going to happen. And part of that is because they're trying to claim it's a security. But even at the same time, I heard Gary Fink, the head of BlackRock, talking about before the Ethereum ETF was approved. He was discussing on live TV that even if Ethereum does get classified as a security, this was again back before the SEC dropped the investigation into Ethereum as well. But he was saying that even if Ethereum is classified as a security, guess what? It can still be an ETF, and that is not stopping it. So that's what's going on with that. All right, on to the next one. D-Gen Dougie. Right here. Good to see you, brother. Thanks for showing up. Fist bump to you as well. Man, a lot of wrenches in the chat. I gotta get me a wrench. I don't even know if I have a wrench. I have the keys, but I don't have a wrench. Farmer Brown saying, when Hex Tent City? 2 weeks? Yeah. 2 more weeks, we'll make it out to LA. 2 more weeks. Just make sure you got a big underpass for all of us to hang out under. No one wants to get rained on, you hear? Okay. John Woodward. But she's got. I'll be honest, I don't entirely understand, but please clarify if you do. I will read it out. Keep going. Agent J again. Agent J saying, hey, gang. And then we have Mel. Yep, hey, gang. And Melv Tony with the current prices, by the way. So right now we have EHEX at, what is that, 5? Is that correct? If that's the case, then that means that EHEX and PHEX are almost at parity. I don't think that's right. I got to go check this stuff right now. I know we only had parity between EHEX and PHEX at one point. All right, so right now I have EHEX at 1/10 or 1.3 tenths of a penny, and I got PHEX at 5/10 of a penny. So right now we're not all-time lows on PHEX as per the PHEX chart. If you include EHEX data in that chart, absolutely not. And even for EHEX, by the way, still not all-time lows. Not even close by any chance of any stretch of the imagination. Definitely not. So. Not financial advice, nothing here ever is, but I'm saying prices have not really been better than they have now. And I bought a little bit more the other day. That's what I'm doing. Do as you please. Alrighty. I believe we have a gifted membership. Armor J gifted 1 Discourse Syndicate membership. If someone wants to tell me who he snagged with that one, do it. I think the last time I was on here, I gifted a few memberships. I snagged the Tooth Slayer, Crypto Sloth himself, and then I gifted another membership, and I somehow gifted it to myself. That was an interesting night, but that was a very fun night, I will say. All right, Melv Tony. Yep, there we go. Pulse at what we'll call 41, and Pulse X at 20. That is 40%, 41% of SAC price, and 20% of SAC price. Again, not all-time lows, but approaching it. And there might be a little support on the way down so we don't get any lower, especially if we are getting this deep into a bull market. I know I was hearing people telling me all week that Bitcoin's going to 32K and 36K, and that the bear market is already here. It's like, yeah, we hit all-time highs, and now the 4-year cycle's ended. And then I checked my watch, and I thought to myself, wow, these people are high as a kite. But that's neither here nor there. To those people, I really do. I hope that Bitcoin hits 32K. Because if it does, I'm buying. And like we might go do something a little degenerate to get some money in that case. But at the same time, I just don't see it myself. I think that the relative strength indicator has bottomed out super hard, and we've already made a new higher low on RSI. And we have massive support at 52.5, 50.5, and 48,000 for Bitcoin. All right, can we get the Agent J comment, please? Saying RG is going to need some Gucci onesies. That's true. We got to get some RG, some Gucci onesies. He's in Europe, so that might be in fashion over there. I don't know. I'm just an American. All right, we got Fast Abdul saying we should have a Hexican fight club to find our new leader. That might be the way to do it. The Hexicans take after the Spartans. We have the warrior king. It's one way to do it. And I would argue that the crypto space actually has a little bit of a history when it comes to putting our top folks against each other in the squared circle or the octagon or the fight of the sweet science, if you will. Alrighty, up next we have Agent J with some big facts coming out here. He says, so Germany is out. Mt. Gox is on a vesting schedule, but Genesis clocks in another 45K Bitcoin that's starting to move. Yes, so I'm going to try to provide some context. What this is we're talking about the reason that Bitcoin is so down in the last week, starting around July 3rd, I want to say. So with that being said, there was Mt. Gox started moving some tokens. I mean, they're not paying people back at 100% of what they lost. They're paying back about was it $500 per Bitcoin? I don't know if you've checked current Bitcoin prices, but we're a lot higher than that. Additionally, I've even heard that some people are getting paid back in Bitcoin Cash. Look, no shade to the people that have Bitcoin Cash, but it's not Bitcoin and it's nowhere close. And then additionally, we covered Mt. Gox. We had FTX starting to repay some people back, allegedly, I heard as well. And then also we had the German government trying to sell about 21,000 Bitcoin in the course of a week. Still trying to figure out what the reasoning behind doing that is myself. I personally think that this is just seized Bitcoin that they're trying to get rid of in order to recuperate some funds because, you know, a whole Ukraine war thing going on right now and gas prices have been absolutely wild. So maybe the German government's trying to help with that, or maybe they just want money, or Germany wants to tank the price of Bitcoin in the crypto market so that they can have their connections make OTC buy deals, cough, cough, BlackRock and all the other people that are similar to that, maybe even the Deutschland versions, so that they can score some cheap Bitcoin. It's all about lining the pocket of your friends, right? All right, enough of that. Get out of here. Whew. Thank you, Mrs. Producer. Back on track. Think a dump can break support and send us to new lows. On which ones? I'm going to assume you're talking about the Richard Hart assets. So could a dump happen? Yeah, a dump can always happen. However, at this point, I'll be honest. We've been talking about weak hands getting shaken out for a long time. And I don't see how many more weak hands there are. If anything, I mean, I think a lot of the action that we're seeing right now on the downward side is largely tied to Hart's Law or liquidity bonding, which is that, especially with Ethereum, because obviously PulseChain is a fork of Ethereum. And we're largely tied to that, considering that there's a large chunk of value on PulseChain that is in Ethereum, or bridge Ethereum, if you will. So I don't know if what we're seeing is dumps exactly. If anything, we've actually gotten some minuscule, but yet positive price movement. Therefore, it's possible that we're actually seeing a little bit more buy side, considering I'm looking at Hex right now on GoPulse.com, everyone's favorite website. I know we probably see this thing too much, but I see the buys are at 1,010 purchases in the last 24-hour period and 522 sells in the last 24-hour period. So that's pretty much double the buying pressure. I'm not talking about volume per se, although the volume was $463,000. So that's a good bit of volume. On to the next one. Thank you, Mrs. Producer. She is on the Discord Syndicate account tonight. That is the StreamYard link. If you want to come hang out, talk with me, talk about any of the stuff I'm talking about now, propose something else, talk about anti-Federalist paper, Federalist papers, Constitution of the United States. I got all of them here. We can talk about whatever you want. Many things to talk about. Bit Finesse saying he's getting 2019 vibes. Yeah, a little bit. I mean, 2019 was bottom of the bear market, but at the same time, I think we're well beyond that now, especially considering that this is personal philosophy here, which is that this cycle is largely ruled by the ETFs. And that is what is differentiating this one from the other 4-year cycles. The reason that we're not sticking to the exact plan when it comes to how high we go before the bull market really kicks off is due to the massive demand that the ETFs are generating. ETFs are changing the game, unfortunately, just because TradFi is coming in and swinging their weight around a good bit. At the same time, though, the economic fundamentals of the supply and demand curve created by the Bitcoin halving happening every 4 years, it takes at least 4 to 6 months to really see that economic pressure build and release in the market. So block rewards halved, at the same time that Bitcoin was being purchased up at the highest rate we've seen in a long, long time. That leads me to believe that we are still in the 4-year cycle and there's still a lot more upside to come from here. Anyways, that's what we got. On to the next one. Alien Hexicans, ain't been a minute. Good to see you, though. Even no matter how long it's been. Come to the hangout, and we're hanging out here. Anybody miss you? Yes. Yes, plenty of people miss you. This is the #1 crypto community out there. We miss everybody all the time, I bet. I mean, like, dude, I miss Boogie. I talk to him somewhat regularly, or at least try to catch his streams. Like, miss everybody. All right, Meltoni, Hedron, and P-Hedron. Okay. I'm gonna have to see the charts for those. I've not followed the Hedron charts, but I've been following the ICOSA charts because of all the stuff that the Gift Tech team has been doing. And I mean, spoiler, I bought some because I like the Gift Tech team guys and I like what they do. And I think they have excellent products. By the way, go check out how much of the gift token supply has been sent to the dead address. Last time I checked, which was like almost a month ago at this point, they had 25% of all the tokens in the dead address. That is how much that protocol burns. And I think it's been live for like 3-4 months. So I would love to, by the way, I hope that Kool-Aid joins us later in the stream because I would love to hang out with him and cut it up. And I did start playing Baldur's Gate 3 recently because he told me to. And I'm having a pretty good time. Although I'm also having an issue with that I have in a lot of other video games, which is like, I know that there's an optimal way to do things. And I know there's a lot of cool things that I missed out on. And I've already passed it and I can't go back. Like one of my buddies told me that in the very first fight, one of the bad guys that's kind of like on rails, so to speak, has this one sword that's just like ungodly stats. And if you have the right character, or you go find the correct character and you roll good on your check to get him out of the vat, they have the ability to command a person, and you can just tell that dude, hey, drop that sword. And then you just go scoop it up and run off. It's like, I already missed the chance to do that, which is unfortunate. Do I want to? Okay. We could. I want to keep going through some chats. How many more do we have? Mrs. Producer, tell me if I'm off the rails here. But at the same time, just keep pulling them up. Oh, hello.
Sorry, I can't talk unless I'm actually in here. I think we got about 10 to 15 or somewhere in that round. There's not too many more.
Okay, sounds good. By the way, I don't know if it was just everyone else, but for me, your audio is coming through kind of fuzzy. I know you remember in Star Wars Episode 4 where there's the muffled Obi-Wan Kenobi, "You're my only hope." That's kind of what it sounds like.
Okay, I'll hook my headset back up then. I'm going through the iPad right now.
Sounds good, ma'am. Thank you very much for all you're doing. You're killing it over there. Let's keep them going. Farmer J, if you believe the government numbers, aka the law, you're a bigger retard than me. This is a bit tongue-in-cheek because the book that we covered on book club was The Law by Frederick Bastiat. This one right here. So yeah, thank you for that. Yes, the government, aka the law, and how they enforce things can become legal plunder, or just using what you vote in to be government force to go steal from your neighbors, which I don't recommend. All right, on to the next one. What else we got? Meltoni. ICOSA. Now we're talking. Okay. Not bad. I think we had a recent price hike up to about 10 cents, but now we're down to about 4, which is understandable, but at the same time, it's not terrible. All right, Alien Hexicans saying, bring Dorsey in as a first mate. Hey, I'll bring in anybody as a first mate. Right now, I am the first mate until I get demoted because someone else shows up. But until then, you got this guy right here. All right, let's keep going. Incentive token, $2.19. This is one that I have been tracking myself. We are technically up about 8% on the day, but incentive token is kind of trading in a range right now, and it's coming back up on a area that was support that has flipped into a resistance at about $2.23. If we can break up above that, I think we're going to start trading at some slightly higher numbers, but still below that, we do have a bit of a support area at about $1.75, $1.80. That is what I'm seeing on my charts. I can pull them up if you want. Just comment that you want the TA. We can do the TA. I'm not afraid of doing it, and we might even be able to bring Agent J in here. That would be cool if we could. Alrighty. Who is Knipples MIA? Hey, whatever Knipples is doing, I'm sure it's important. If he wants to come on, though, I would love to have him on and talk about it. But yeah, shout out to Kinetics. Much love, brother. On to the next one. Hex share rate. Remember, folks, Hex T-share rate only goes up. We're currently at 35,000 Hex per T-share, so those T-shares get more and more expensive. I'm going to channel a little bit of Kool-Aid right now as well and say that if you are holding liquid Hex, you are missing out on the entire functionality of Hex. Holding T-shares is the way to effectively hold Hex. I'm not telling you to quattro stake everything, but at the same time, indeed, thank you for watching. Pump it up. Let's pump it up. On to the next one. Yep, there you go. Hex T-share rate again. By the way, we technically do have a different T-share rate for eHex and pHex. Granted, it's very, very minuscule, but it does exist. If you want to go see it in person, go check out hexfire.io. Shout out to Crispy Man, the guy that made that website. He is, I'm going to argue, he's the leading data scientist for the Hexagon and PulseChain community, and he's created an absolutely fantastic tool. So if you're interested in looking at the raw numbers, getting the data, go check it out. Alrighty, just live to Pulse X. Pulse X. That's what it is. Nothing else. Nothing else at all. I think I got membership on the other account. We'll go hop on that one and hang out. Enjoy that membership. I don't know exactly what it does, but it's cool. You get to flex on people. You're a member. All right. Agent J, if Bitcoin goes to 32K, market structure is broken. Yes. Agreed. Agreed. Speaking of market structure, good sir, one of the theories I heard postulated for what is going on recently is that we're not in an extended cycle or a new cycle, but we're actually in a failed 60-day cycle. So Lucas cycles, or Bob Lucas cycles, shout out to the folks at home who know what I'm talking about. That is one of the theories posited. It's been a bit of a quandary trying to figure out which of the major dips in the last 3 weeks actually was the bottom of the 60-day cycle low. Did we have one that happened and then we went up for 7 days and we dropped down to the current lows? Or is this just a continuation of the previous cycle? So an extension of a 54-day cycle to a 64-day cycle. Or 65, I think. Someone correct me if I'm wrong on this one. I know Jay will. He's always on top of that stuff. On to the next one. Farmer J, Zenith, if Bitcoin hits 36K, we're all going to take Will's advice and rob a few banks. I'm not saying do illegal means per any suggestion. I won't give you financial advice. I will give you this legal advice, though. Don't do crimes. If you do crimes, don't talk about doing crimes on tape or on air. There you go. Legal advice over. Take it to the bank. Thank you, Melv Tony. Ah, there it is. There it is. Those are the right numbers. Good stuff. Thank you for providing the data. You're doing a good service out there. The show goes on, if you will, from Jay. Also, realized prices around 31K. We're not breaking down below that. Yeah. This is a bit of a hot take. I'm happy to say it though, which is that I personally don't think we're ever going to see Bitcoin under $25,500. My take, I don't think we're ever going to see Bitcoin below that ever again. I think the cycle low is in, and for the next cycle, it might be bad. It's probably going to be a really rough bear cycle. I'm not going to lie. But at the same time, I think 25.5 is a hard floor that we're not going below again. And I've even heard people say that anything in the 20 range is also gone. So it's only 30s and up from here. Might be a bit of a hot take, but it is what it is. Let's keep it going. Tinfoil pirate hat. Hey, there's a reason why I have the shelf laid out the way it is. We have the pirate hat because obviously we're rebels here. I have the officer cap because I raised as a professional. And then we have the tinfoil cap because we're not afraid to talk about the tinfoil theories. Because guess what? The government has not batted 1,000 over its lifetime. There have been some conspiracies that were absolutely true. Some crazy ones, in fact. Like, look, the CIA did run effectively hotel brothels and laced dudes with LSD when they were hooking up with their prostitutes to study the effects of psychoactive drugs. I'm just saying. Not all conspiracies are untrue, but some of them might just be true enough. By the way, stay aware. RH assets correct. Yep, covered it. Good to go. Bitcoin 57.9. True. Ethereum at 31. Anytime Ethereum, I think Ethereum has really held the support level of $28,500 or $2,850. Excuse me, too many zeros on that. $2,850 on the chart has looked like a very solid support level for a long time now. Ever since Bitcoin hit new all-time highs, we have not really dipped below that. If we have, it's been for a very, very brief moment, and we've gone back up to about 36,000. I can't remember if we got all the way back up to 39,000. I think we hit 38 when the Ethereum ETF got announced. By the way, this is a little tinfoil hat, but I want you to go look at that chart. Ethereum went from like 30 or 3,200 to 3,800 on Monday of that week. The Ethereum ETF was announced on Thursday. Why? Why do that move on Monday? Someone might know something and I don't. Some might call that insider trading, but that would be me alleging crimes, and that is not legal advice. The legal advice is don't allege crimes unless you have proof of it. So here you go. I'm just saying it's fishy. It's fishy at best. Who believes the hardest? LC Izzle or El Kizzle? Le Chisel. Le Chisle. Spanish. Got it. Yeah, who believes the hardest?
How do I sound now?
You sound much better.
Awesome. I think it's Le Sizzle. That's what I'm going to guess.
That's a good one, actually. I like that. We have Chad Donner Schwans. To Schwans of House Donner has entered to chat. Good to see you, brother. Good to see all the, as he likes to say, the mega-based crypto bros in the house. Absolutely. We're out here on a Friday night. That's right, gang. This is a beautiful summer Friday night, and you are all here with us hanging out. By the way, again, if you want to come on. Oh, shoot. Look at this. We have the captain in the house. I'm only the captain for so much longer. Mrs. Producer, if we can highlight the StreamYard link once again, or tell you what, I can just take said link and then toss it over to Crypto Kool-Aid myself. Good sir, please check your DMs. I believe that is correct. Let me know if it is not. Mrs. Producer has already put it down in the chat, so that is what we're doing there.
Yep, we got another one in the chat. We're ready for you. If you want to join too, I think there was another person who said they wanted to join.
Perfect.
Where'd it go?
Before we get too off track.
Crypto Khalil.
Oh, Khalil, yeah. Khalil, good to see you again, brother. I know we officially settled that there is a no incentive token happening. So I'm glad we officially got that. I know my method of consensus was like the worst because I literally just took an aggregate of whatever answer I saw the most online and thought that was the most correct answer. When in the absence of entire correct data, that is one way to do it. But then again, it's only dealing with probabilities that you're correct. So it's like if a wrong message is distributed and believed and accepted and proliferated again, then that becomes a dominating theory, even though it is wrong. So I'm hoping I didn't do that. By the way, folks, incentive token has a constant inflation rate, meaning that there's no halving programmed into it. But the effect that you do get is that the APY, or the return, kind of effectively has a halving on it, or it's actually more of a half-life for everybody out there that studied radioactivity and radioactive decay, which is that we started off at near infinite APY because we went from 0 to 1. But the moment you go from 0 to 1 and then 1 to 2, you've already halved the APY of that token for that given moment in time. I know this is a bit of a calculus play, which is that we're looking at the rate of change. We're looking at a very, very single sliver of time and what the slope of that line looks like on that one. So as we go on, we're going to start getting less and less incentive token, or we're going to get the same amount of incentive token released, but the amount released is going to be a smaller amount in proportion to the rest of the supply. So the people that got in early, congratulations. You have a large percentage of the supply. People that get in later, congratulations. You still have some of the supply, but the share, the percentage that you have is going to be much, much less than the people that got in early. So again, not financial advice, but I'm doing a little bit of farming. Susie Q saying, yeah, F some S up. Thank you, Susie Q. We were trying to do that tonight. Hey, Hex Monkey saying, Crypto Kool-Aid, get in there and F some S up. He will. He'll come in here and run the show, I'll tell you that much. By the way, shout out to Hex Monkey. He had a comment earlier. Let me see if I can find it. Well, he had a couple. He said conspiracy theory equals facts not yet discovered by the masses. I might happen to agree. He says, Hex Monkey also said, glad that RG3 guy is finally gone. Lol, just kidding. Good to see you, Zenith. Good to see you too, brother. And I know the crypto mindset meetup for this year has not officially been announced, but they're targeting September. I hope you're going out there. I will see you there, my man. Alrighty, when Kool-Aid shows up, just bring him on. Have him literally Kool-Aid man in here. So that is what we got.
Will do. Hopefully we get, you said Khalil? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, Khalil. And then also there's another comment from Susie Q. She says, hi, amazing Zenith. I'm making a tinfoil hat. I don't want it for food. Correct. The tinfoil hat is not for food. It's for thinking. Exactly. Good to see you.
It could be for food if you're near enough to a fire pit.
It is. I mean, I think one of the I don't know if it's an actual confirmed myth or not, but one of the lores of the old steel helmet from like World War II era and earlier was that sometimes soldiers would just turn it upside down, light a fire under it, and start cooking soup in it. It's like, I don't know if that's sanitary. I don't know if soldiers do are sanitary. I'm speaking maybe from experience, but I'll just say it definitely sounds plausible. Although at the same time, they have entire field kits for eating out of, including like an actual thing designed to be heated up. And it's a lot smaller than a helmet. Fun fact, if you want to heat up a pan, the time it takes to heat your pan is also in proportion to how big your pan is, because you're heating the pan itself, which means there's a finite amount of energy you have to get into the pan to get it up to a certain temperature. The more pan, the more energy required. Therefore, my theory of helmet is less effective than like the ration kit holds true, because the steel helmet's a lot bigger, and also thermal coefficients are not the same, especially not for steel. There are other things that have much higher thermal coefficients and like to be heated up more quickly.
Yeah, I would imagine a helmet would be very thick, and that would take a very long time, wouldn't it?
It's almost like that's the point. The point is for the helmet to be thick, to stop the other things from coming through it. But,
Whatever works, right? Whatever gets the job done at the end of the day.
That's true. That's true. Hey, Mrs. Producer, I know I jumped immediately from book club over to here, but I wanted to get your take. What did you think of the book club tonight? Good show?
Oh yeah, I think it was great. It was very different from our normal one in the sense that it was just a lot more information heavy. One thing that I really enjoyed is Christian. I think he seems to celebrate that book almost to a point of obsession, but in a good way. I'm not, don't mean anything negative by that, but he just had so many quotes and so many facts, and he knew everything there was to know about it. And it was really, really cool just to listen to that and to feel his passion about it, So I really like that. I would love to do that. Yeah, I would love to do that with more books. Because obviously we love going through the books, but I would love to talk more about the specifics in the books, because I feel like a lot of the time we get it more into making it more about our personal lives, which is also great. But kind of a happier mix, do more about the books. So definitely gave me some ideas like moving forward. So I'm excited.
Absolutely. For context, we're talking about The Law by Frédéric Bastiat. Bastiat is a French philosopher from about 1850, and he was rallying against the French Revolution, trying to debunk some of the socialist arguments of the time and try to promote life, liberty, and property rights. So that was what he was doing there. Made some very good points. It's a very fundamental level book. It's not like trying to make like advanced arguments. It's pretty much just like, hey, using the government to steal from your neighbor is still stealing from your neighbor. So maybe don't do that. Also, there's a weird perverse incentive where if one person steals from another, and then the answer is that, well, I should also be able to steal from that guy, you move from a situation where a few people are plundering many people, and you move to a less optimal position where everyone is plundering everyone. And the correct way to alleviate this is that no one plunders anybody. So,
and unfortunately, in our current world, we're being pretty, at least in my opinion, we're being pretty heavily plundered by those who are claiming to protect us. So we're in a rough spot.
This is true. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, once you start claiming something is for the public good, where does that idea end? Where's the finish line? Where are the guardrails? How do you box it in instead of just go to infinite with it? That's
exactly.
We have a comment from Just Live to PulseX. It says, want to read Essay on the Nature of Trade in General book by Richard Cantillon. I will definitely add it to the list. We'll take a look at it. I will say, though, it might be a minute before we get to it, because the list of books is rapidly growing as we speak.
Yeah, and we got a bunch of suggestions tonight too. So.
Oh yeah, I think the one that Christian suggested was Frederick Hayek, Road to Serfdom. It's a very classic book. I've heard it. I've never read the book itself. I've covered the material a good bit, but at the same time, I've never actually read the source material, and should probably touch the source material at some point, especially considering I'm the book club guy. So yeah, but other than that,
I put that one. Sorry,
we're getting full over here. You see this? You see
the comments? Oh, your bookshelf. Okay.
Yeah, no, not comments. The bookshelf. We also have a lot of comments. By the way, chat is on fire tonight. We're so glad that so many of you guys showed up for the hangout, even though RG3 isn't here. And while we're waiting for other people to join, I hope that I'm providing value to you. If you want me to do any sort of technical analysis, I'm more than happy to do so. Pull up articles, relevant tweets, funny memes. Hell, I'm down to do a live meme review. If you guys got the memes, send them to me. Or just at me on Twitter, ZenithDI.
Could you do
Simple
a
enough.
live dance for us? You know, just get up.
Yeah, but if I do that, then you're going to see that I'm wearing a button-down shirt and gym shorts.
Ah, never mind then. That might be a little awkward.
True. Welcome to the internet, where no one knows that you're not wearing real pants unless you tell them.
Yeah, those like those newscasters that got they were streaming from home and they forgot and then just stood up and oh gosh, those are so funny.
Yeah, there's even the famous example from the COVID days of a certain person who was self-flating on a conference call with his team. I believe that is Jeffrey Toobin. So, by the way, I mean, don't do that during company hours in the first place. I would also argue it's probably not general, but at the same time, turn the webcam off. The best thing you can do is just say, "Oh no, my webcam, it's broken. I can't join on the meeting with a webcam."
All right, well, we have our first guest, the one and only.
Oi.
Hey,
Hello,
what's up?
Kool-Aid.
What's going on? So I start with the stream with what are you doing? Bigger pans better? And then you got to be dealing with tinfoil hats with there's one free hat in every roll as long as you put it on. And then Briz is like, oh, but jet fuel doesn't burn down steel beams, but it does burn down tinfoil hats. And then you move on to plundering that nobody plunders crystal in the South Valley but me, bitch. What up, brother?
Dude, it's so good to see you.
Always a pleasure. I'm trying to fucking get all my audio interface stuff. Where did that lever go? There we go. I still haven't like fixed all the buttons from when we fried it that one time. That was a fucking glorious night.
True. I know we tried convincing RG3 to let you and me guest host the next hangout, and then he was like, we'll see, and then didn't do a hangout. But now here we are. Guess who's guest hosting?
That's right.
Let's go.
Let's fucking go.
Let's go.
Oh yeah.
So what's been going on, everyone?
Well, what's been going on is not the market going well, allegedly. But other than that, it's been a very good time to be an investor, so to speak, if you still have dry powder on the side to put in, which at the same time, surprised people still have dry powder to put in, to be honest.
Well, yeah, I mean, and if you're not putting in dry powder, you can be building like the stuff that we're doing over there.
Bingo.
Tech, and if you haven't been paying attention to the whole Pulse Mafia stuff, it's absolutely fascinating considering it's my pluck a feather on why gamification is probably the most intrinsic thing that can come to PulseChain and build not just people looking at a 5-minute chart, but looking at 5-hour-long playthroughs and something that gets you entertained. Something that gets you inspired, like a book club, like watching a movie, like actually understanding a story and being part of something that also does go up as you experience it. And you're taking more personal inflection into what's going on rather than just the price. So there's a lot of stuff being built without worrying about just what's going on in a price-based ecosystem. I mean, you could look at like Ask Jeeves or Alta Vista or all the rest of that. Well, Google was the end-up contender, and it took them a long time to get there and a long time to actually have those vectors for it to become a supreme supremacist and all the rest of that. I mean, hell, look at Apple. Until the iPod, their little computer that sat in high schools, junior highs, all the rest of that, didn't have a lot of value. Until the iPhone, that's when it had a full dominance over its industry. It took a long time for that maturity to come to fruition. And we got to think about that all within the same ley lines on how everything's going to come together with this entire ecosystem. Well, did I lose you? I lost sound. Or you lost sound?
No,
I'm still here. Can you hear me?
I can.
He went out. He went out for me too for a second.
That's okay. I was pressing buttons on my audio interface, so at that point, I'm like, did I break something?
True. Hey, speaking
you broke
of
everything.
I always break everything. I'm the Kool-Aid man.
Here, speaking of cool stuff you built, I did just want to look up the stats. GIF, the token right now, has 25% of the supply in the dead address.
Hmm.
That's kind of wild.
And EICOSA, I believe, is 25% in the dead address, 2% of PICOSA, 4.5% of LUSD. It's like 400 billion tokens. So it is pretty much matched PulseX. I think 50% of stable has already been burned. You'd have to go to gopulse.com and look at those actual metrics. We were looking at it earlier on RH Max's stream. But those are just getting started things. Remember, that's just experimental tech. That's setting the bedrock of things to come. And people just want it now instead of actually taking the time to have it matured. And I think that's come with the proxy that people don't have to go into a library anymore. People don't have to figure out where everyone are. Like you have to, wait for someone to come home to a landline to figure out where they're going to be later in the day, or have a pager and have them use a payphone. It's turned into such a need me every 30 seconds society that people aren't taking the time to allow things to mature. On a game, I was talking to Gif about this earlier tonight. It takes usually between 3 to 5 years to make a game, and about 2.5 years in, that's when you need to worry about being laid off, so it gets canceled. So in that kind of schema of things, man, 3 years is easy. It's getting to that 5-year finish line when you ship. That's the hard part. And getting it across that road is probably the most important thing to understand.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Really quick here. We have another person in the green room, and I would love to introduce you all to the one and only Farmer J.
Farmer J.
Ooh.
What up, buddy?
What's up, brother?
Hey, what's going on with you fellas? I hope you guys are having a great night. And 3 years for a layoff. I look forward to my layoff week to week.
About 2.5 years usually. 2.5 years.
I tell my contractor, don't threaten me with a good time. I was looking for a job when I got this one.
Right.
You say that, but at the same time, you told us earlier, like about a month or two ago, you're like, oh yeah, job's done. I'm taking about like a month off. And then literally within the week, you're like, oh yeah, new job.
Yeah. So that's how it is. Sometimes you get laid off, you get smoked, and other times projects go on. So like I always tell people, the construction business is a week-to-week basis.
Mm-hmm.
I call it 2-check Fridays. You can always expect your 2-check Fridays. They'll pay you for last week and this week on Friday.
There you go. That's right. That's right. By the way, I'm liking your blue bounce light, my friend. It's looking sharp.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's a little ultraviolet kind of purplish for PulseChain.
I like it.
And it also
it makes your eyes shine. It's
also my glasses react to ultraviolet light. So when I have them on, so it turns
nice.
If I put them directly under, they'll turn very dark. Like when I'm out on the sunlight, they'll completely go dark.
Oh, the transition lenses, yeah. Those are
transition lenses, yes. For those people that don't know, yeah. But I like that like when I'm on the Fresh and Fit Hangout, I like that like I turn down the other light, and I like that purple haze, for the PulseChain, because I know how RG3 it's very into the Hex ecosystem, which is PulseChain.
And that's right. Well, the eyes flickering reminds me of Riddick when he has his eyes shine. I like that stuff. Multi-threaded.
True. Shoot, Riddick had the trilogy. I know there was it Pitch Black, The Chronicles of Riddick? What was the other one?
It's the Hyperion, not Hyperion, but the Furion series, and they even had a animatic, a cartoon, as well. But it was Pitch Black, Chronicles of Riddick, and there's one more.
I want to say the third one was just called Riddick.
Yeah, I think it was.
I'm gonna look it up.
It's a great series, man. It was one of the core motivators for the film I did, Shade.
There was
and then the fourth is an animated series.
I saw on Twitter earlier this week, I saw someone, I want to say it was either RH Max or it was Rags to Riches. They either found it, they made it or retweeted it. But someone made a timeline of all like the sci-fi or dystopian movies about like the year that they take place in, and then was like, you are here.
Yeah, it was Rags to Riches. It was
it was.
Yeah, and the Dune was the whole long super saga, but I mean that book series is 18 bloody damn books. It's large. But Bulgarian Jihad is a fantastic series, or a book if you want to start that from like the beginning.
What is Rag's tag on Twitter? Oh gosh.
And Tiny Ginger for president.
It's Rags and then the letter 2, or the number 2. And then I think 2 riches. I think it's
Need a
that's what
step
it
stool
was.
to get to cupboard.
Need a steps.
Maybe. I think I might just be fat fingering it constantly. But yeah.
Well, I mean,
wanted
like that's why they have to elongate leprechauns, because that's why they're hidden and you don't know where their leprechaun gold is.
Well, I guess Twitter's down, but anyways, I was going to point out that according to their chart, we do live in a post Powerball civilization.
I'll find it for you.
I think I remember Powerball is like this one movie I saw as like a 10-year-old and just thought it was like so crazy and out there. And then I like rewatched it when I was like 17 or something. I was like, okay, this is actually kind of wild. It's the movie where it's like the professional like pro, but their sport is like a roller derby on steroids that just turns into a death match. Like they have a figure 8 arena that has like motorcycles on it and everyone's on rollerblades.
Hey, just remember the movie Hackers. All good people start on rollerblades. So here is the photo for you if you want to pull it up.
Brandon Davis R2R. Thank you.
Yeah, and that's the link you're looking for.
Get this going.
What are you doing with Rags?
Oh, he was sharing this link on the futuristic timeline. We are at the Solent Green level and right before Children of Men, where no one can make babies.
True. V for Vendetta is coming up soon.
Well, Children of Men's a fantastic movie because the best shot is at the very end, and obviously there's no babies, and it's this giant war scene, shit's exploding everywhere, and this soldier and this gal are just carrying out this baby, and just the crying of the baby has silences everyone in the scene. It's kind of like Lord of War, the bullet scene, the very beginning, that's a continuous shot, and just everyone stops fighting and just watches it. They just move through the shot and then bang, mortars fire again. It's really cool movie.
Lord of War is a good one. I like that.
That intro,
the
bullet scene from the intro is posh. Continuous shot.
This is producer. I got a screen share if you don't mind. There we go. Here it is. Brandon Davis, aka Rex to Riches. Here's our futuristic movie timeline. We started off with Clockwork Orange at 1995. Obviously, 2001 is, 2001. RoboCop is 2015. I thought it would be more in the future than that, but here we are.
No, Boston Dynamics was RoboCop.
Oh, okay. I see. And then I misquoted. Sorry, it's not. It is Rollerball is the movie that I was referring to. That one's kind of wild. We just got past Blade Runner. We just got past Soylent Green. So yeah, Children of Men is up next. I will admit I'm unfamiliar with that one. What's it about?
Soylent Green, actually, I don't know off the top of my head, which makes me want to. I think it's the only one here I have not watched, except The Black Hole. Idiocracy, Jesus. That's when, before that's Logan's Run. That's
true.
That's pretty good.
I was going to say, I think Idiocracy is going to be much sooner than that, just personally.
It's already here.
Yeah,
It's
that's what I was about to say.
I wanted to be nice, Kool-Aid, but
No, I will not be nice. Like, this is happening in real time with this damn election that's happening right now. We are right at the parapet of that.
But if Idiocracy is now, what is the equivalent of Ouch My Balls? The Jackass still?
Probably, but then you're going to get your Schwartz taken from you. So we need some Spaceballs.
We also need Spaceballs the cereal. Spaceballs the flamethrower. The
That's
kids
right.
love that one.
I would like to say after 12 Monkeys, that Demolition Man is that one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
And V for Vendetta is for me personally is probably the top of the list on here. For me personally, although and it's kind of hard because like The Fifth Element is another movie I love. Minority Report, Event Horizon, like this thing is full of. Yeah, this thing's full of great movies. If anybody hasn't watched these, like, have a good look at them. They're good movies, not just because we're talking about this. They're just getting beyond that. The teaching moments of they're actually very good made movies that are entertaining. Very
They're
That's
all
true.
classic in their era. I mean,
Yeah,
Event
they are.
Horizon, hands down, was one of my favorite movies growing up. But the whole folding of time and putting a pencil through it to actually look on how to bind reality or bond liquidity, if you think about it, has a lot of like layers to how all that works. I mean, V for Vendetta with Guy Fawkes is just a great mythos. But yeah, all these are classic. And that's why good movies, good entertainment, good games are timeless, because it does more than just entertain you for a second. It has a moniker of expression that holds merit and becomes timeless.
You sound like me trying to explain to people why Gladiator is such a good movie.
Another
The message.
Another fantastic movie right there.
Yeah.
You know, they just
real quick,
don't
guys.
make.
Yes, ma'am.
Brasology gave us a summary of Children of Men that you said you didn't know, Zenith. So
Children of Men is a movie where women can no longer have babies.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier.
There's one pregnant chick, and they're trying to get her from point A to point Z.
There clearly were no Latinos in this movie, because you look at a Latina, you look her way, and she will become pregnant. This must have been after our time is done.
That's true. That's true. So
just look at her. What you mean you're pregnant? I didn't even touch you.
Baby Jesus.
True. Hey, Kool-Aid, I want to ask, where do you think Johnny Mnemonic falls on the timeline?
Oh God! But then you got to put Lawnmower Man on there too.
That's true. That's true. At the same time, though, I think with Johnny Mnemonic, the reason that Keanu Reeves was so valuable is because he was willing to like overload his memory bank and go from like 128 megabytes to like 256 megabytes.
Man, I remember when my computer had 4 megs of RAM, and they told me they would never fucking run out of it. A 286DX, 386DX, 66, 4 megs of RAM, 2400 BPS modem. Oh God, in the good old days.
I remember when it was about 1993, and I was in school, right? It was like elementary school, and our class was one of the few ones that had a computer, and it was a very big deal that we were getting a RAM upgrade. The whole class stood around. We opened up the case, and I think it was doubling the memory, but I don't even think it was a megabyte combined, like when we upgraded it. I'm talking about this was like probably like in 93, 92.
Sure. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, they only had slots for 2 chips. 2 or I don't even think they did.
Yeah, we were actually removing the current RAM and swapping it out. It was double, but it was still like, I think it was still under 1 megabyte. Which
1 or 2. No, 100. Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like and like it was considered a big deal back then. And now,
oh yeah. Now you got the processing power of 30 original spacecraft in our cell phone. So,
yeah, it's crazy, right?
Yeah, Nate upgraded his computer with 8 terabytes. And real quick, guys, we have a Rob ready to join us. So I'm going to get him in.
8 terabytes, that's a lot of movies you can store on your
dude, I'm running 13, I think, or 13 or 18 into this box.
Mr. Rob, what's going on, brother?
What's going on, Rob?
How are you guys? Those green candles today, we are so back.
Massive green candles, the biggest.
Right? Oh gosh.
Like
hey,
when you're building stuff, you don't pay attention to charts. You just don't have the bloody time, right? You know what you're building, you know what you're doing.
Well, I looked away and I looked at my LP and I'm like, damn it, I'm full of dye. I go, where'd all my pulse go?
Well, I mean, you're stable.
It's all good. It was a good day. LP pulled in.
Oh wow, we do have green candles.
I like how we're surprised by that.
Oh, right? I'm like, there might be green candles, but I think most of us are still down, right? It's like, but like, I don't really.
I've seen this before.
Yeah, to me, I don't care. I'm just gonna keep DCAing, right? I think most of us are doing that, right? We're taking the opportunity to just keep DCAing at these prices. Yeah, like I remember like the narrative right at the beginning of the year was that DCAing was going to stop maybe around May or June, right? And I'm like, damn, like I'm not gonna have enough time to accumulate as many coins as I want. And now, to me, I personally see that as a blessing. I'm like, I can actually, instead of bitching and complaining the prices are down, I can actually take the time and buy more coins that I want at these prices.
Yep, you have no excuses now, brother.
Yeah,
You have plenty of time.
yeah, get some more of that Gifford on the cheap.
You definitely should have that. You definitely should have that. Because we are not done building. We have not even gone out of experimental stage. So Giff alluded that Pulsar may be coming within the next 3-ish weeks on our HMAX's stream. So we got more stuff coming down the pipe, and that one's going to be very intrinsically interesting because we're binding ETH to PulseChain. But yeah, we're continuously trying to do stuff to provide not just value, but expand on what it is to think outside the box and use those things to further not even kick the can down the road, but build cornerstones and keystones to build bigger armatures and ways to use things to come.
So when people that don't want to buy low, so I got a quick story, right? So I bought like some Pepe like maybe like a year ago. It was just, I think I bought it like on KuCoin. It was like $50, right? So I recently checked and it's like 1,200. And like, yeah, $50. Like it's over a year ago that it doesn't have history. So sometimes you just buy and hold and like you start thinking about that.
Or
like,
buy and forget.
Yeah, it was buy and forget. And because I bought it on KuCoin because like it was just $50, and at the time fees were crazy.
Yeah,
so I'm like,
whatever.
yeah. So I think I bought like some XLM or something on Coinbase. I sent it to KuCoin because the fees were absolutely like nothing. And then I sold that for USDT, and then with the USDT, I bought the Pepe, and then like I remember when they went into that where you had to they started sending emails for you to verify your identity, and so like it wouldn't let me log on. I was finally able to log on, and when I checked, I'm like, oh, this $50 turned into like 1,200. So I said, man, you know what? It's $50 that I put in. I'm just let it ride. If it goes to zero at the end of the day, it was $50, right? Like, what do I mean?
That's the mindset.
Or you could DCA. You could DCA right now into Pulse.
I DCA into Pulse weekly. Weekly. So like my weekly DCA is probably like 70% into the PulseChain ecosystem, and then I buy other stuff. But that includes
what you just said though. That's exactly why people are investing in meme coins. Is for that right there. Like but
that's
coin and it moons, right?
Yeah, and yeah, but like the problem is that some people, instead of like a $50 scratcher ticket, some people will throw like a few bands at it. I'm like, they'll just ape in completely into that. And I'm like, that's not really a very good strategy or a winning strategy. You're usually going to get wrecked. Now, if you want to bet on a few scratcher tickets here and there, that's okay.
I'm not opposed to the scratcher bets at all.
My
personal take on why people are doing the meme coin thing right now is because their patience is worn thin.
Yeah.
And that the weak hands are coming out. Where are the diamond hands? I see paper hands, but it's like, I understand the bear market was rough.
It gives people like a second chance, right? Like maybe they miss Shiba or they miss.
I think it's a fake second chance, though.
Right?
I think it's a facade.
I think it's because people see like on social media, like some of the people that made crazy money, right? The way they like to floss, and they're like, I want to do this, but like at the same time, a lot of these people are lying about their lifestyle.
Yeah, it's
and a lot of people don't understand. Some of the people that have made crazy gains, they didn't spend it like that. They're actually saving that capital to reinvest. And that's what you got to think long term. But most people don't. They want that quick high. And I think a lot of us know that a lot of people that invest into the crypto ecosystems, right? They'll make quick gains, they'll pull up that money, and then they'll go absolutely blow it. Like that money's gone. Sure, you had fun with it, but what you could have compounded, you could have actually took that money, bought the lows, and the amount of money you could have made off that would have been crazy. But instead, you spend it on cocaine and hookers.
It's not that. I think people also
Well,
forget
a lot of
that,
the people have
that
they have sand hands, right?
That's it.
the sand hands, and then people forget that making money on crypto and your investments is actually a two-part equation, which is that A, you have to have the good entry point, and B, you also have to sell it at some point to capitalize and secure the gains. I think with the meme coins, it goes up real hard, but conversely, it also goes down just as hard as well, which means that unless you're actually A, getting a good entry point, and then B, also ensuring that you like sell at the correct area, that's the only way to do it. If you miss either of those, you're kind of out of luck.
Absolutely.
It almost it's to the point where you got to be an insider. You have to be like in the beginning
there
or
it
be an
is.
insider to get it. It's almost like, you know, like remember like with network marketing, like all those like the pyramid schemes, you know, like it like running rampant like the 90s, 80s and 90s. It was like only the founders were the ones that made any money because they were the ones that just dumped on everybody's head.
Yeah,
A lot goes to the top of the pyramid scheme.
A lot of
Nowhere
these
else.
coins are like that, right? There's one ecosystem that isn't like that though, and that's PulseChain, where like anybody can get in at the start, like in all these kind of projects going on. Like if you're here, you're able to get in early. Like like there isn't any really insiders. Let's take like the coin XRP, right? XRP, the founders have been dumping the coin since the start. As price doesn't go up, because if you look at what's going on with XRP, even though it has a very strong following, the people that have all the coins are constantly dumping them. Like if you look at the PulseChain ecosystem, Richard Hart isn't dumping anything. He's not dumping any of the coins.
No, but the people that are starting coins on PulseChain.
Yeah. If you want to fall for some of these scam projects, and a lot of us, like Richard Hart, even warned us before the PulseChain was launched that a lot of these frauds were going to come out. If anybody comes from like Miguel or Charlie, they also repeated that information, that there's going to be a lot of people committing frauds to get you out of your core coins. Like and
shake you loose.
If you look at what was it, that PulseChain Latina bullshit scam they went on, a lot of people traded their PulseChain for it. Like you basically got scammed out of your core coins.
That was crazy. That was a little embarrassing. That, you know, just the fact that like just the guys just went crazy for a girl. You know, like they just got took by just because she was a hot looking girl. That's so dumb.
She was like,
I'm not entirely up to date on the entire thing. So was it a real person?
No,
was it not?
No, she was a real person. So I think
she was being guided though. She was being she had a puppeteer.
So you were out of town. So I think it was Wednesday when you were off, Zenith. We discussed it on the DJ roundtable. So like I remember because I joined one of the chat groups where it had just a bunch of the PLS projects, and one of those was hers. So guys would actually ask her questions, and she would actually post video response, like not just chat, like a video response. Yeah. But through all those videos, it turns out like they're finding out where she's at. They're looking at, like, you can't hide nowadays. Like if you put your face,
where is she?
I think she's like in Brazil or something. Yeah.
Good luck though. Good luck with that. But she's probably in the favelas.
Yeah, but like
allegedly, somebody in the comments is saying that she was spotted in a Walmart in Boise, Idaho.
Yeah, maybe that's true. Maybe that's true, but. There's all this information right now. It's all hearsay, whatever. But eventually, the amount of videos and stuff she took, people are going to find you because they can see like the landmarks and stuff. Because literally, she would post video response to a lot of the things guys were asking.
Sooner or later, man. It's just
going
to take some time.
And then you're fake.
What I heard that she was a paid actor, like period. So like the entire thing,
I believe she was.
Yeah, so like at the end of the day, it wasn't theoretically her. She was a paid actor, just like in a movie or something like that.
She probably didn't even know what was going on. Like,
no, not at all. Yeah, no, she's an actor, right? She's just like, hey, I'm going to give you a role as a crypto promoter for this upcoming documentary that we're going to be doing, and we need you to fill this position. Man, like. You can be the blind leading the blind with that kind of thing. Now I hear all sorts of other rumor drama, which really I have no need to take part in. But at the end of the day, I think a lot of go ahead.
I was going to say, personally, I don't believe that's the case. I believe she didn't understand what was going on, other than she was committing fraud, and whoever was guiding her let her know. Like the way she interacted with the public, like she knew what was going on. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
she was a participant, and I know we like
Yeah.
to think that women aren't. Some people like to think that women aren't capable of this, but they are. They are.
Yep.
They are capable of crime just like men are. And
Oh,
like,
100.
I believe she was a willing participant, and she was obviously guided. But
Yo, it was a woman who bit the apple. She was the first one to commit sin, dog.
Yeah, no, but it doesn't matter. Like, to me, like it sounded like she understood what she was doing, not exactly what was happening like in the background, but she understood that like somebody probably told her, hey, we can probably grift all these suckers out of some money, and if you're in it, and that's fine, because like especially like if she comes from like a lower economical background, if somebody offers you that kind of money, then for very little effort, you're probably going to take it if you don't have any morals.
That's
Or
true.
even
I
if
mean, so obviously F in the chat for everybody that lost money on this one, although at the same time,
y'all
like,
some dummies.
you technically did fall for a social engineering scam. I'm not going to call this a sophisticated attack from a security standpoint, but at the same time, it's more sophisticated than claiming to be a Nigerian prince. And I got to say, my understanding of this is that whoever did this was definitely playing the long con, so to speak. Maybe not like years at a time, but this was an active social engineering, astroturfing effort to create an image online, and then at the end of the day, they got rugged. Kool-Aid, I see you over there. What do you think? Social engineering?
In other words, she was a grifting bitch.
Well, I even reached out to the person that they attempted to be because they said they're Unity dev. And I'm just like, oh, you're a game dev. Let's chitty chat. Had no idea about anything. So, like, I knew something was up with that resume, and GIF said the same damn thing. But unfortunately, people chase shiny objects, whether it's shiny promises or shiny objects. And I think one problem is that, let's just say a lot of people have good intentions possibly in what they want to do, but they may not have the best execution. And I've seen that through my career, that the last 18 years, almost every game, actually every game I've ever worked on has been canceled or the studio has been shuttered. And these are $100 million, $200 million projects that people that should know better to how to manage all that. So from my point of view, I can see how things fail, like with my business hat on, right? But it doesn't mean that it's always nefarious, but also
Absolutely
bad if you're trying to do something and it affects other people's money. And so that's why you need to, trust in good code, trust in principles and pillars and things that you hold yourself standard to, regardless of price inflection, right? Having something that's an actual rug or a malicious intent or an LP rug pull, which is what I believe the whole Latina thing. I didn't really look into it, but I believe what it is. They made, it was a Dexy type thing.
Yeah, there was a drainer code that drained all the wallets.
And it's like you said, Kool-Aid. Like, there's some projects that fail sometimes, and it wasn't out of malintent. It was just there was an idea, it didn't work out, and that's fine. But sometimes some projects are literally built to rug people. Yeah, like then that's why they're called rugs, right? Some projects fail, others rug, others succeed, and that's what we should know. Like, do not put your money in projects.
Well, you're going to see a lot. Well, now you're going to see these red flags, though.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. So now you're going to see these red flags.
I don't think, but most people, I don't know. Like, to me, most guys are some dummies out here that are like a pretty face and a big butt, and they'll fall for anything. It's like,
I mean, the one thing is like, I'm fortunate that I have the GIF on my side that he can actually read the code, right? I do my part of the job, which is art, dancing monkeys, storytelling, all the stuff that my pedigree comes from. But I cannot read the code, because if I added being able to code to my brain, my last hamster would have gone. I cannot add any more to that mix. But that's where you need people like Pulse Police, or people that actually can vet your stuff. So that way you can identify these exploits early. Problem is those people are also busy, usually doing things to actually spend the time to actually be sniffing out all the rest of that stuff. So it's how much time do people that have the wherewithal have extra time to be looking into this? And then the other side is that most people don't care. They want it explained like they're 5. They want it like completely wrapped into a little bun. And if it's explained like you're 5, you shouldn't be dealing with shit. 5-year-olds should be watching Peppa the Pig. So like the question is like, how much time and effort do you want to put into understanding the viability of what you're putting time and effort into? right? Knowledge is the most expensive token in the world. Wisdom is how you spend it. So you have to really digest all of those things together in this. And that is the fortunate thing about everything being built on PulseChain is being built as a unilateral whole, which means, as the mighty Zenith was saying earlier, bigger pan's better. And so when that pan actually gets full, it will fry hard. You know,
You're not
you have a
wrong.
new nickname.
And like you said,
Pants.
I think on PulseChain there's a lot of projects that are gonna fail, right? And it's not because
Right.
there's
Yeah, it's
no
not being
no ill
malicious.
will.
It's just the
Yeah.
reality.
It's just what it is, right? And that's why some of them we call them lottery tickets, right?
Why do you
like-
think that though? Why do you think that? Why are they going to fail? For
Because
what
most
reason?
projects are going to fail because sometimes there isn't a market fit for them, right? Like sometimes there's a lot of projects that fit one narrative, right? And sometimes people are just going to choose, like say there's like 4 projects that pretty much do the same thing, right? Eventually people might choose 1 or 2, and those are the ones that survive and the other ones fail. Like it's just that everything can't succeed.
Well, I
Something
feel like I'm doing it the right way. I've actually launched a project on
What you got,
PulseChain.
brother?
It's called Soil.
yeah, let's hear it.
And
Hang on, real
and,
quick before you get into that.
yeah, go ahead.
We have another person to add really quick. I feel like you're about to get into something big, so I want to get him on
Nice.
beforehand.
all
The
I know
Briz.
is
Awesome.
Oh, it's
Welcome,
Paul
Paul.
says.
Welcome, Paul.
What up?
what's
Yeah,
going
yeah,
on,
yeah,
Paul?
He
All I
came
know is
just
that-
And
in the
he
nick of
suckered
time.
y'all easily. This
I
is
need to write something new to DCA into if you got a new project. Like I said, like new projects are gonna come up and like I think that everybody should, like, if you look at the project and you like it, yeah, go ahead, throw some money at it. Like I don't
I've
mind
got
that
an
at all.
amazing dev. I've got an amazing dev, and he has
Yeah,
kind
let
of,
us know. Let us
like,
know
showed the way,
what's
like
the
what
project.
we're doing. So we launched what's called an LGE NFT, a liquidity generating event. All the money that is put up that we sold out in 10 days, by the way, 20,000 NFTs. And
Nice.
for every dollar you put up, I match it with $1. And so what happens is it creates a very sustainable system, because if I pay you to put both pairs up, well, if you take them back, you hurt me. And so in this case, you're putting up half and I'm putting up the other half. So if you take your liquidity out, that's fine. I'll leave mine in. And so this is a more sustainable way to launch a project, to where you get not only the NFT, which is really cool, but you get delivered on launch day the PLP token that goes into the liquidity pool. So you, in a sense, you kind of get half of your money back on the NFT. And we're going to be launching the token somewhere around the 23rd of this month. We have a real world business. It's a RWB. Okay. We're first a company. We make this right here. This is a mini version of it. This is a aeroponic tower. You guys can see that. It's a mini 3D printed version of it. They're 2 meters tall, by the way. So this is a really small one. And it grows plants at an accelerated rate. I can grow lettuce from a seed to harvest in 27 days.
What
With
about
this
other
tower? And
plants?
this tower has got 96 plants on it. Yeah, you can
What
put
about
you can put anything on it.
I was wondering how much weed you can grow out of that.
What? Me? No, I would
Yeah,
never.
I knew you were
Why
going to
does
ask
it always go
that.
there?
Me?
Why does it
I
always
would
go there?
never engage in illicit behavior. How
Absolutely.
dare
As long
you?
as you're in a
You-
weed legal state, you would never
I
touch
am
that
in-
naughty stuff.
I am in California.
Oh, well then you
All
could
right.
technically.
I'm from Orange County.
We're-
I'm from Orange County,
we're,
California. I'm from the
okay.
949.
Where Warden Newsom rules the state with an iron fist.
I'm from Missouri. Can we grow meth on it?
Well, it depends. It depends. Are you close to I-70? And then you can do anything you
By
want.
the way, I'm right out of.
Now it could be
I
Florida
started
where you
by
sprinkle bath
LAX.
salts.
Bath salts? Oh hell no.
Well, no, that's Florida, man. That's a taint. And that's where you go to make zombies. But no, that sounds like a really interesting product.
To answer your question, though,
You're
you can grow it on the tower, but it's the roots that are problematic.
Oh, interesting. Now,
Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm just thinking like accolade on what other, because it's all about flow of air, probably to position of light and oxygen, right? How it's designed to grow plants on that.
It's a NASA
Automatic
technology, and remember the movie like with Matt Damon where he Martian, kind of like that.
Yeah, no,
it's
he
the
grows
same
turpittators,
technology.
yeah.
There's so there's no soil. It's only out of water, so it's just the fertilizers in the water. And what happens is that it shoots a high pressure mist in the inside of the tower, and it goes directly into the root zone.
To the roots. Yeah,
And
that
so
makes
what
sense.
happens is the plant doesn't have to exert energy to absorb the nutrients, and so it's like getting force fed, and so that's why the plant grows 45% faster and 20% bigger, and so you get these nice big massive juicy plants that are not only without pesticides but 100% organic, and you could grow 96 plants on one tower right in your kitchen. It doesn't take up a whole lot of space. You can put it in the corner of your room.
I got a quick comment. Like, I look at Paul's face and he's like, what the hell are you talking about? You can just plant this stuff out in the fields. But and like
Yeah,
and like
but
in
it's more
cities where you have very limited space, there's actually people that like this technology. Like when you live in apartment buildings or high-rise buildings, like these things actually become viable because some people actually want to grow this stuff. Like they like having a little chicken coop and like you said, like you want to grow up because space is limited, especially in the big cities and what you're paying.
Well, you're going to be forced to grow it. You know why? Because the cost of food right now. Do you know how much? Dude, $100 doesn't buy anything now.
Sure, you can get a cheeseburger and some fries.
Dude, $100 will get you like 4 bags of groceries.
Yeah,
well, he's got a very good point.
So, right now it's a perfect time.
It is, like you said, and not only that, but people, especially like in the inner cities, like Orange County and LA County, Ventura County, San Diego County, they like to grow like their own stuff. They have this big old like, oh, I can organically grow my food, whether it be like you said, lettuce or a few things here or there they cook out of the kitchen. So there's actually like I know like some people in other parts of the country would be like, what's the utility in this? But like when you live in a very dense population, there's actually utility to actually growing things hydroponically.
Well, it's also the way that you grow them. So like I worked on a game that you build, or like if you talk about space station games, people eat eels because of the protein that they have, as easy as it is, and also add that to the sewage recycling. So it's a symbiotic growth-based system. Or you have, let's just say, the people that do rooftop gardens on areas that they're surrounded by concrete where they can't act it. Brez, Mr. Trump family himself.
Brez already has one of these on order.
You're looking sharp, sir.
I'm in Orange County as well.
Get the crayons out. Get the crayons out.
All you got to do is just look for the car with no hood. That's how you know Brez be coming.
Orange County? Never heard of her.
I went to Trader Joe's today. I
don't know where this.
How much did you spend?
I got 5.
Oh, this is good. This is good.
I got 5
items.
No. How much did you spend in t-shirts, X?
How much do you think the 5 items I walked away with?
What'd you get? What'd you pick up? What are the
$40.
Yeah. No, we need to know the items. What items?
All right. I got just a couple small things. I got a quart. I'm not sure, a half a liter of the virgin olive oil.
Oh, that's like $10.
I got half a gallon.
That's $15. All
right, what's the next one?
Oh,
okay, $5.
The next one is a half a gallon of whole milk.
Also worth its weight in gold. Keep going.
I got some cornbread mix.
Okay.
I got a barbecue cut salmon. And then the last thing I got was
that was big money right there.
I didn't know that.
That's a ranch like $30 right there.
Tabbouleh salad. You know that.
Depends. At Whole Foods, they have their salmon cuts are usually small to medium. So it's like
because they call it a whole paycheck. It's different than Trader Joe's.
I don't know. I would say probably you spend maybe $65.
105, 105 at least.
I was gonna say 60. Yeah,
$40 before tax.
I say $79.99. The price is wrong, bitch.
Food doesn't have tax.
All right, yeah, that's true.
You
guys are all way over. It was $30.25.
Dude, TJ's is great.
The oil was $13, and the
you must have been you must have been a Prime member. Took advantage of the Prime sales going on.
I spent $30 on 5 items.
Yeah, but five items is $30.
Raised cod. That ain't even real.
And one of them
that's
was
still crazy.
milk, oil, and cornbread.
Yeah, but Trader Joe's is a very good.
Oil.
Well, but Trader Joe's is a very good place to buy food.
Yeah.
In fact, they treat their employees very well. They pay them well. They give them good health benefits. All the
Fine
rest of that, like TJ's, is great. I
I
always
got
love
some lazy employees at Trader Joe.
you. Just talking shit today, farmer.
Nah, lazy.
He came
They
to
some-
tussle.
They some
Talking about
employees
lazy.
over there.
That's a good. Lazy is a good tie-in to the utility of my coin, because why how does it tie to the real world business? And what I did was I saw that people are lazy, and so what I invented was an AI application that helps you grow on the tower. And so this AI has to be paid with a monthly subscription service, and it's done with an NFT. It's a subscription NFT. So you have 30-day, 60-day, 90-day, and then you're going to connect your Web3 wallet. And once it sees that NFT, you're going to have access to the AI. You're going to have a minimal AI, like a basic one that basically doesn't kill your plants on the tower, like if their temperature is off or something like that. But like if you want to interact with the AI and it's going to help you like with the growth cycle of certain plants that you have on your tower, you got to pay for that. And that's where
your NFT, that's a SaaS-based model. Did your NFT get
trying to tie the real world business.
Sure. So if your SaaS-based
I'm
model
sorry?
has an NFT attachment, does your NFT get destroyed at the length of its subscription, or for a premium amount of time, it only destroys a particular amount of time, or does that NFT just get removed to your wallet, added back to a particular buyer pool, and so it gets deflationary, or how are you handling?
Yeah, I think it's destroyed. I think it's destroyed. I'd have to double check, but I believe it gets destroyed.
Okay, so then
when the subscription's up.
So was there a particular token launch to create said NFTs, or like a 404, or is there something that
that's coming on the 23rd.
No, but I'm just saying, like, what
Yeah,
is
so we're launching on. So if you go to our Telegram channel, which is at Soil Energy on Telegram, the white paper is pinned to the top of the channel, of the group chat, and then you can look at that. The tokenomics are all there.
Do you have a website?
The NFTs will be created down the line. Yeah, with that Soil. Everything's at Soil Energy. So we have Twitter, Soil Energy, website, Telegram.
Hey Rob, I got a question.
Socials are at Soil Energy.
You said you were putting in like,
yeah, tell me.
For every dollar someone puts in, you're gonna add $1. So if they take back that dollar, it's like,
yeah,
it's added in. How much of that can you support? Like, do you have like $1 million waiting to go in?
We did. No, we did. It was okay. So this is the thing. Is like we were just talking about this earlier in the chat. About the private sales and people getting in on the beginning, right? Even when you have a coin launch, even if let's say you launch at the time that they launch the coin, you buy it. There's people still dumping on your heads because behind the scenes they've done private sales. And so what we did was we launched this project with no private sales. The only private sale we did was the LGE NFT, and we sold out. It was $20,000. So we're launching this liquidity pool with 40 grand. And that's the insider, right? That's the good deal that you're getting. Other than that, you got to buy the coin on the open market. And so we feel that that's the most sustainable way to launch a coin right now. It's the safest way. It's what I would want, right? I don't want people dumping on my head. I don't want all these founders and whoever their friends and family are that have the coin. I'm like, you're thinking you're in at the beginning. You're like, okay, the coin just launched. Here I go, and then bam, you get right over the head. That's not cool. So
that's true. One of the things I noticed. Sorry, I was just gonna say one of the things I noticed is that like if you're going to launch a coin, you need to have kind of like a big war chest behind you so that when people start selling, you can absorb that energy and so it doesn't go into a death spiral.
Very good point,
Hey,
Chris.
Rob, I got
real
for it,
quick.
We
guys,
have.
Yeah, hang on. Just live. Can you hear me? He turned his camera off. He's been sitting for a little bit, and I don't think he knows to check the private chat. So I was going to try and talk to him from here, but he might have just walked off. So, all right. Well, I guess I'll wait to see if he comes back. I don't want to add him when he's not even on camera. Oh, looks like we got another one though. Eco Builder, are you ready to be added?
Oh, my boy.
Ah,
My
there he
boy.
goes.
What's
Hey,
up,
everybody.
brother?
My boy. How you
Been
doing?
listening for a while. Good.
We need to get some food. You know, you're only like 10 minutes away. Chris pulled me out to go get some barbecue on the 4th. He's one of the few people I escaped my dungeon for. So
Everybody in Texas got to get that barbecue.
I just more like tacos, man. I really don't need barbecue. I mean, it's great, but like once you get tacos, it's good. But
how about some Korean barbecue tacos?
I love me some bulgogi. You can fucking buy me with some bulgogi 100. But yeah, no.
Oh damn, dude.
I'm sorry.
By the way, the only token
nothing beats Garden Grove, man. Korean barbecue in Garden Grove is legit.
Nah, that's garbage. You got to go to LA County for that real Korean barbecue. You know that Orange County got that fake barbecue.
I love food. I love mix of culture for that reason.
Only real barbecue is the ones where they stay up all night smoking the meat. Where they got 2 shifts, 3 shifts really.
That's right. Well, you can come hang out in the hot tub with like lightning storms like Zenith did when he drove 12 hours. Fucking like we go ham at 2 a.m.
If you have a death wish, just hang out with Kool-Aid and you'll be protected, I swear.
As long
as he doesn't pay off the student debts.
If I have to pay off $250,000 to Sally Mae, your soul is back on the market. Till then, they own it forever.
When I die, if I have one regret in life, it would be not joining YouTube on that hot tub with my Speedo. That would be my only regret in life.
Well, you know, when that says that we need a farmer Speedo party.
Yikes. Guys, I wanted to join to give an update. Thanks so much for hosting the FN Hangout.
What's the update, brother?
I've been wanting to join FN Hangout in order to say thank you so much to everybody who's joined the Patreon, the Hex Postcards Patreon. We've got 11 members over there, all different amounts of anteing up, and it's seeming like it's a really cool thing. And so since my last appearance on the FN Hangout, we've sent out 50,000 postcards.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, so we've gotten some large donations from I think 2 or 3 different donors. You know, we've got a Telegram group, t.me/hex postcards, that we're all chatting it up week after week over there. So we've got some heavy supporters, some light supporters. Everything's golden. We're spreading into Canada, and I believe the last time I was on, we were talking about how we had this competition going on. The winner of that competition, his name is Hexicita, and I believe that name that's GETA on Twitter after the Hex. So I believe that name comes from a cartoon.
That's a Dragon Ball Z reference.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, I couldn't think of the name of the cartoon, but yeah. Which whenever it's
not a cartoon.
It's a recollection of classic that
actually happened.
I remember.
Keep going.
I remember like working with a guy, and so like we would do some design on our computers over at his place, and he would put that on, and then I saw like, wow, those are life lessons inside that illustration. So I came to respect it quite a bit. Anyway, that's the guy's name. He won the competition. I think we've already sent out a round of his postcards, and we're going to continue sending out his stuff. So congratulations to him. And yeah, so that was the update that I've been dying to get out there to everybody. And so thanks so much for the support. And if you guys want to come and be a part of the chat, it's over there on Telegram. Hex postcards.
Dude, 50,000 is awesome. Congrats.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh, man.
Did y'all play that audio right then?
Yeah, that was good. I forgot.
That's great.
Every now and then.
All right, real quick, we got Just Live back on camera. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready to be added, bro. All right, here we go.
Yeah, but for everyone out there, like, do a $5 or $10 donation to EcoBuilder and Hex Postcards. Direct marketing is just a lost art. People get something fresh and new. I mean, shit, when I go to my mailbox, it's like, bill. Oh, shit, this is important. It says tax documents included. But then you see something flashy and new. What the fuck is this? Dear neighbor? All right. it's not selling me insurance or, you know, Walmart coupons, I may read it, right? And so, like, even if 100 of them, 1,000 of them go away, someone's going to click the website because it's tactical. It's in your hand, and it's a lost art, and that's just smart to do. So, like, everyone can afford a coffee a month. Like, go to Starbucks, pay $10 for a coffee. Everyone can just sign up for Patreon and just give this man the money he needs to send and pay for the bloody postage to print and send these things, right? Because that's really what you're doing, putting the postage on it and the print for the box cards. So, like, yeah, everyone go do that. It's a no-brainer.
I think they should just have the word crypto right there in the center, really big. That's going to catch everyone's attention. They're like, crypto, then they'll start looking at it.
I'm going to clip this, Briz, and I'm going to put it in the chat because anybody who has any sort of critique, any sort of input, please give it to me now or give it to us in the chat. We've collected some things that's been feedback on Twitter and brought it to the chat because, you know, it's just a mastermind. We just continue to the best ideas win, you know. Anybody who's an illustrator, please have your shot at it. Like we'll have it to where your idea wins and then we'll send it out with the next thing. We're constantly trying to find the best prices for shipping, for printing. And so right now our designs are, I think, 9 inches by 6.5 inches, but that could change if it is that y'all have a better idea.
Well, and sit down with me sometime and we'll storyboard, because I mean, obviously, you know, 18 years of storytelling and entertainment experience. Plus, I mean, I can do CMYK in print. I would never want to do it, but I mean, I came from the pedigree that I understand it pretty intrinsically well. We got audio interface from somebody's background noise, by the way.
Farmer, do you have background noise? Is your family in that room?
By their wife.
No,
it's not me. There's nobody here. No, my
mom. But it's clean now for whatever it was. I just have sit down with me sometime and let's chit chat. Because I'm happy to you know, break some bread. Well, we'll just go hang over at Chris's and let's roll across your ideas. Let's figure out the best storytelling patterns. Let's get some pop on it. And figure out the best way to get that brain click through and make it happen. Like the E.F. Hutton, when E.F. Hutton speaks, everyone listens. That's an old thing that people knew from back in the day, or Maxwell tapes or all the rest of that. But there are modern day things that you can touch, you know, 40 plus people, as well as the younger people, right? So if you're doing mass emailing, I know you're going to wealthier neighborhoods. People have houses, not really townhomes and or apartment complexes, but we can look at how the market strategy could be better played to different demographics and different use cases, because there's people that live in different economic zones that may actually be able to put in $100, even though it's harder money for that economic gain, than the higher tiered people that wouldn't want to spend the money because they're being penny pinchy, right?
Yeah,
so
that's where our mind is lately too.
Yeah, because the reason
like if they put their money in traditional finance, right? If they have a lot of money, then what they get a month from it, they find that enough because they have so much money in the market. But like you said, if you're able to target a lower demographic or a mid-level demographic, they might actually be like, okay, I'm willing to take the gamble. And like, shout out to like Eco Builder, right? Like for actually taking the time, like that. That's why, like, I believe so much in the PulseChain ecosystem. You see a lot of people that are just in it, trying to like expand the system, right? Like nobody.
A lot of go-getters.
Yeah,
let me tell you,
nobody asked you to do it, and nobody told you.
But they did.
No, but I'm saying, like,
see, this is the thing: is that Richard back in the day, he tweeted our instructions, and our group leader literally took that and said, "Yes, direct mail. That's what we need to do." So we created this group.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like you specifically took that message and said, "Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and take it upon myself and actually go through with it," you know. And like
we're here for the revolution.
Yeah, and it's got to be hard work. Like you actually have to sit there, take the time, plan everything out.
It's a new skill that we have to learn. And then there are people who are in the community who already do this for a living. So they're coming in and giving us advice.
And like I said,
for example, I've got the domain.
The community appreciates what you do. Like everybody that's out here building on the PulseChain ecosystem, like people like us that aren't building anything, we appreciate everybody that's building on the PulseChain ecosystem that wants to be like a legitimate builder. Not the big booty Latinas that be scamming, but legitimate builders. That
I'm glad I missed that conversation.
Right.
True. Hey, gentlemen, real quick before we get too deep into it, we do have somebody on the panel we have not heard from yet. I do want to kick it over to Just Live and say, brother, welcome. If you want to introduce yourself, please do. Let us know what you're interested in.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
I'm clear.
All right. I just had a question. You guys were all talking about, you got instructions on you should do this, you should do that. And then when people are just watching at home.
Specifically, what do you say?
I think he's referring to what I said earlier.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry.
What you guys were just talking about. Like, you guys are always saying, like, we have instructions to do this. Like, why isn't the community doing that? And I think for a lot of people that are new, like, does that include everybody that's out here? Like, is there some kind of organizational structure? Like, should I just start a channel on my own? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can do that.
It's literally just anarchy. Just choose your path.
Yeah, that's the
just do whatever.
Paul's not entirely wrong on this one. As far as what you should and like trying to make the ought statements, and is there a hierarchy or structure here? The answer is kind of no, which is that we operate in a decentralized space, but at the same time, we're trying to build community here, and especially with what RG3 is doing on Discourse Syndicate, and even with like stuff hosted in the FN Hangout, it's a way to kind of get some direction as an individual amongst the community. So it is giving $5 to the Hex Postcards Patreon. Is that going to give you a return on investment? Arguably not, like tangibly, like you're not going to get coins or anything for it, but at the same time, it is people in the space who are trying to do something that you see value in. You're giving to it. It's almost a little bit more of
PulseChain is a choose your own adventure.
Correct. I don't want to call it charity per se, but at the same time, it's like if you want to make investments, make investments. If you want to support people in the community, understand that it's pretty much kind of just like contributions on your own with very, very little expectations. However, at the same time, the work is still important. Someone's doing it and taking the initiative, so hopefully we're trying to reward them for it so we can see more of it.
Yeah, I think that call of action, that Richard Hard made was, is there something in the space that you feel is missing? Like, don't wait for it. Go ahead and take it upon yourself and build it. If you think you can build this particular part of this in this space, whether it be a niche here or there, like build it. And if it's a good idea, it probably will succeed.
Well, I think that the single most important thing, right, for our space is to bring new users. And because if not, we're just all going to be like screaming into an echo chamber. And so with my project,
but I was going to say like with that you said, right?
This company has 75 employees that they push my crowdfund. We're doing a Kickstarter. They are bringing 10,000 new eyeballs to my project, which my project is also on PulseChain. Now, how many of those people are going to convert? I don't know, but at least I'm doing my part to bring as many new eyeballs to this community. And if most of these people, I think, are not going to be crypto people, so their first experience is going to be on the PulseChain community, and which is great because I think PulseChain community is the #1 community out there. It's more, people are wanting to help and wanting to, to teach. And I think out of all the communities out there, this is the best one to bring new users.
Just Live, I want to say that I think that you should, as an OG Hexican who's been here the whole time, I think that you should have conversations with as many people in the community as you would like. And then you'll get to have a feel of where it is that you fit in and where it is that you could uphold something that doesn't exist or support something that does exist.
Okay, I get it. I mean, I've been following everybody for years now, and I'm in the chats, I'm on Twitter, whatever. My background's in finance. I worked as a financial advisor until 2008 when the market crashed. And then the SEC put down all this regulation, which forced the advisors out. Well, it didn't force the advisors out, but it pushed me out. It was like the final straw. So, I mean, I come from that side, so I don't need advice on the investment side, and I know how to do TA and all of that. But, you know, I'm just more curious on like the structure of like what you guys do. Do you guys coordinate like the content creators? Sorry if my eyes are also messed up because my TV's over there and it lags.
No worries, we're all like that. But to answer your question, me like that is nobody. No, there's no real centralization. Like especially when it comes to PulseChain, there's like it seems like everybody in the space kind of talks to each other. But like the one true kind of you can say leader is Richard Hart, right? Whenever he decides to come back. But as far as like building projects, it's been kind of been left to like people just build what they want. Like at the very beginning, he said if somebody doesn't build a like NFT platform, he said I will. But what happened? Geralder built Mintra, right? And like people took it upon themselves to build all these little projects. Because when I first found out about PulseChain was like months like before launch, and then all these sacrifices and things were coming into play. And it wasn't really that anybody was calling for them. Just wherever there was a need, somebody stepped up and took it upon themselves to do it. And I kind of like that more than being centralized, where we have a decentralized community here, where if there's a need in the community, some people build it. To me, I find that to me that's a beautiful thing, where wherever there's a need in this community, somebody takes it upon themselves and they build it. That doesn't mean that somebody can't improve upon their idea or have a better idea, but I don't really see that there's like a leader. I see that there's people that like in the PulseChain community, like this particular chat here with RG3, like people look for RG3 for guidance. And they respect his opinion, but it doesn't necessarily mean that what he says goes. But he's very respected in the community.
But just live, are you asking a little bit about like what's happening in the shadows behind the YouTubers? Like, why is it that Briz over here shows up with Maddie, or Zenith over there shows up with RG3? You know, that sort of thing.
Yeah, it seems like there's not a lot of, I mean, top-down organization, which I get because we're all, you know, rebels. I mean, you wouldn't be in Hex and in crypto if you weren't rebels, but or libertarians, or however you want to put it. But it doesn't seem like there's too much top-down organization, and
community is built
in
of
a way,
clicks.
Would you like that?
It's just built of clicks.
Well, what I'd like to see, I don't know if I'd like to see. It doesn't matter what I'd like to see.
No, it does. It does. I personally want to know what like.
Let's hear it.
Some of the infighting is like detrimental, I think.
Yeah, those are certain clicks that are actually
just
like little girls, and they're over there fighting.
Yeah, I mean,
but most
some of it sort of gets.
We ignore them. Like, you guys want to fight? Go fight.
Yeah, some of it sort of gets clicks because it's like a rap battle. You know what I mean? Like rap
battle of history. Damn right.
You just want to see like what the reply is, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it can be entertaining.
Just live, build us the positive vision for what you're trying to see here. If you what would you want to see out of the space? It doesn't have to be like top-down leadership or anything, but like what are you looking to see more of?
Please recognize that we're going through evolutionary stages here. And evolutionary stages that you may not have seen before in crypto. But go ahead.
I like everybody's shows, and you know, everybody has like a different take or a different style, and you might like one guy, you might not like the next, whatever. You know, you subscribe to who you like. But just a little bit of the infighting, like when people do have beef, like just DM that person. You know, don't put it out there to the world. Like everybody sees it. So
what if one
if you're an outside person looking in? Yeah, but if you see if you're an outside person and you see somebody and they're like, well, I could put my money over here where there's a bunch of douchebags, or I can put my money over here where they seem like, you know, they're not fighting and stuff.
Yeah.
Me personally, I haven't really seen too much of this infighting because I don't give a fuck what those guys are doing. if they're gonna sit there bitching, I turn the other way. And I'm pretty active, and I keep track pretty much of the PulseChain community. But like when people start doing that, like I'm just not gonna pay attention to you. Like I'd rather listen to Crypto Kool-Aid over here. I don't understand half the shit he's saying, you know, when he goes off on his tangents. But it's like, but he's got knowledge. I'm like, I'm gonna hear it, and like he's got important things to say, right? So if people are over here doing stupid shit, man, there's plenty of people in this community that are actually
here's
like,
the deal.
Information. Like
Here's the
Briz
deal.
over here.
I like
Briz,
to fight. I like to fight. I'm one of those guys that you're actually talking about.
Briz,
I'll punch back. I'll punch them right back on their damn ass nose.
Briz since they're probably instigating. Did you hear what this motherfucker said about you?
The problem is that they come at the Hexicans and they go, you guys are dumbasses. You guys are being scammed. You guys are buying a scam. Can't you see that after 4 years, it's
I got accused of being in the cabal. I'm in the cabal. I was like, what the hell is that? I didn't even know what the cabal means.
Like right now, they think this is the cabal meeting. Like we're having the cabal meeting.
Well, I understand the.
So I gotta push back on those motherfuckers.
Are you talking about the XRP army? Is that who you're talking about?
So
Kool-Aid, how do you do that? Was that your actual voice? That was scary.
So natural, baby.
Jeez,
I understand the.
He has the devil inside him.
I wrote the bill.
So
just live. Go.
I apologize.
Just
to aisle 3. You lost
I
your bid.
apologize if I fight in public, but if
let me know when you're gonna fight so I can put some
if
bets
someone
down.
I'll end it with this. If someone goes to a Tesla stock Facebook page and they see two guys arguing about Tesla stocks, which they do, and they decide, I can't invest in Tesla. Two guys on the internet are fighting. You know what? Fuck those people. They don't deserve the money anyways.
Well, I mean, I understand like protecting the brand and you're protecting what you believe in, but when everybody in the community, like everybody believes the same thing, everybody wants to push it like better. Like
not everybody believes.
Well, there's better in the right ways, though, right? So, like, the worst part of making games are gamers. They think they buy a $50 fucking game, and they understand what goes into that. Period. When I worked at ZeniMax, we had 7 attorneys on retainer to handle divorces. Not pleasant. And so the problem is that suddenly someone wants to be an armchair Karen, telling people what to do, and then fisticuffing about it. And by the way, Briz, you're one of my favorites, so you don't have to worry about you infighting. I fucking love the shit out of you. But the difference is that
maybe just for fun.
Well, no,
my RH Maxiness saved me from Big Booty Latina Farm.
And I would say this just live.
I didn't get rugged.
If you if part of that community is fighting, just come over here. Like there's part of the, like, I've never seen them. I don't even know any other, like, I know the two communities that are fighting with each other, but I personally have never spoken to any of them on any of the telegrams or seen them on any of these live chats. If they want to fight over there, it's fine. Find other people that have a different mindset.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. It's like when you go to the grocery store and there's two people fighting, you just walk away and do your own shit. But what I'm saying is, like, when other people are seeing that, instead of coming over and buying the shit that they're arguing about, they're going and buying something else.
It's Walmart tokenomics at the end of the day, right? You don't want to be seeing a whole bunch of people fighting in the line of Walmart, right? And so, like,
you're gonna see that at Walmart.
Yeah, dude, it's like no, but it's like war of the poor.
Truck driver lock lizards, right? So, like, at the end of the day,
these guys,
you have.
I am an emotional wreck.
Emotional.
My bags are down 99.7%.
Your Bitcoin
I need to lash out on the internet.
Just live, to your point, I think you do have a very good point, though, which is that when the infighting does break out, is it beneficial to attracting outside people who are new to the community?
It's not.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not. Which means that the inverse of that is that in order to attract outside people, it's best if we're not infighting. I think that, unfortunately, at the end of the day, there's still going to be some sort of fighting, but to your question about like centralized leadership or maybe a top-down structure, we don't have that. But you can look to certain people inside of the space for a little thing called leadership to help everyone get their guns pointed in the same direction. So instead of yelling at each other, you can actually try to find genuine bad actors in a space, or you can try to find a larger goal or, dare I say, enemy overall to face. Whether that is maybe like trying to fight some unjust ruling from the SEC, it's something to focus on. But at the same time, if you're fighting each other, yeah, it will scare people off, like you said. So, I mean, try to focus on the communities that look like they actually have some sort of direction.
Well, not only that, it'll take your
momentum.
eye off the ball. And that's why Pulse Latina, I think, Pulse Latina happened because of all the infighting. Like people were too busy fighting to like see that there was this chick rugging them.
Oh, I saw that.
I mean,
and I was like, hell fucking no.
Hey, don't be talking like that about my girl, right? It was an honest scam, okay?
A common theme that's been happening in PulseChain has been people leaving X. People have actively been saying for probably 6 months now, they're leaving. Maybe they stick around just to read the tweets, read Richard just a little bit, but they're not interacting anymore. Most of it's either here or it's Telegram, because Telegram, you've got the groups, and here, people show their face. But what X is reduced down to is just a group of people bitching at everybody else, and it's like, fuck this, I ain't got time to respond to it. I'm going on about my life.
I think like some of those people, like if there's people fucking bitching over here, just fucking block them out of your fucking feed. But no, people say they don't want the drama, but yet they're over here reading the drama. Like me, I have no idea about what's going on, because if there's drama over there, go fuck yourselves. I'm gonna be.
Then why don't we just? And I've been saying this for over a year or 2 years. We take up Mastodon. Yeah, it's annoying. Yeah, it's not convenient as X, but we can have a more cultivated way to share knowledge between like-minded people without having all the noise. There are ways to actually get around it. The problem is that most people don't want to put in the work, the effort, or figure out how to use it, because, oh my God, it takes 3 minutes to figure out something. People don't want to use convenience. Now, we can cultivate that bedrock, that soil, enrich it with fertilizer, and grow good plants like Rob's trying to do. There are ways to do it, but here what it takes is effort, and it takes knowledge. Unfortunately, most people don't want to put that in without shiny green candles or someone to drive the FOMO. But realistically, those who put in those time and effort to fulfill that statement will network together and grow as a sub-community on top. So just live, if you want to network with anyone, I probably know anyone you need to know. But the thing is that there really isn't a hierarchical structure, but we all try to help each other together behind the scenes. It's just not public facing. Like, I don't think I've ever shared publicly what my Twitter handle is. If you figure it out, you figure it out. And I've said that the last 4 years of Hex, I have absolutely no need for you to come find me. I already have an ID and B and all that fancy pants stuff for my day job. I'm here because I care. And so, like, there are people that will help create and do. You just got to network with them, and all the rest of that stuff. By the way, go check the private channel for that stuff.
I was going to say, I think in the PulseChain community, like you said, there's no like actual leadership structure, but people look to certain people that are competent in what they do. Like, let's take Zenith, for example. He's very good at hosting these fucking chats, whether it be book club or the DJ roundtable. You know,
wrangle you DJs.
No, he's very good at what he
does.
I
want his microphone, man. He sounds
that's
good though. That mic,
and that's I know he's got that loud space, right?
Voice.
And he's like
hell with that mic, and you just need to come
he
back.
just like let's look at Cena, right?
It's only 12 hours.
He just came out of nowhere, and because he's competent at what he does, he was able to put himself in a position, just like anybody else in the space, right? If you're competent at what you do, people will look to you in this space. And I think as most of us here are men, when we look for leadership, we look for people that are competent in what they're doing. That doesn't necessarily mean that you follow some guy for everything. But if that guy's good as that thing, you look at him. If somebody's good at analyzing charts, you look to him for info. If somebody's good on a particular part of the space, you look for them for info. Like it's just like that. That's why I very much like this space, because there isn't any one person you turn to. It's more like it's a collection of people. And if you're a smart guy, you're gonna know who's full of bullshit and who isn't, and who you can actually follow for information, or who's not bullshitting you at all. Like and like you said, and there's that infighting though. It's kind of a detriment to the ecosystem. But at the end of the day, like I'm not going to pay attention to them. This is an ecosystem I believe in. It's not the only ecosystem I put my money in, but most of my DCA goes
the
in.
infighting is also happening because
all
the candles
Peace out,
are
boys.
down, right? Everybody's down.
Yeah, everybody's
down. That's why there's fighting. You know, it's like,
yeah, there is.
When the green candles come in, bro, the fighting is gonna kind of go by the wayside.
Oh yeah, when
when
times are bad, like you said, people want to fight and argue. When times are good, everybody wants to cheer and hug each other. But it's like,
yeah.
I know
I have an idea.
Everything's sweet, you don't appreciate the sour, and when the sour is the only thing you get, you don't appreciate the sweet. You have to understand that there are binding loops and reinforcement loops. There are highs and lows. The hero's journey, one of the most fundamental stories of our existence from Joseph Campbell, Hero with 1,000 Faces, is that the hero needs to get kicked in the dick 3 different times before he realizes he's the hero, and then come up to actually conquer the dragon. There's a lot of hierarchical in that, but if you want the speed read of it, and you do need to go through the final countdown, the pressure cooker, the montage, if you will, to get through this correctly, because you can do something successful once, but that doesn't mean you're going to be able to do it a second time. And that's where training comes in. That's where battle hardening yourself comes in. And that's where experience through that gives you fertility to be able to help grow that. So all are valid. Hustling and tussling and a little shit talking and all the rest of that is fine. But once it goes toxic, it's bad. Now, you know, I could even go into why Pulse Mafia, I think it's fascinating that people could actually go to war. If you want to go fight in the damn video game. Stop having it on Karen Twitter. If
or get them in a ring. Get them in a ring and we can wager some crypto coins.
Yeah, I mean, you can do that still with your virtual self, because people
I want to see them fight for real.
Well.
If we do that though, Fast Duel is just going to end up just tapping everybody out.
Well, I mean, that's the thing is I'm going to bribe him really heavy, dude. Fucking, he's going in fucking, and you know.
Oh yeah, he does. Like, even if he can't beat him, maybe he'll bribe him into submission.
So
Fast
I have
Duel
an
has
idea
said
about.
that
Go ahead.
That he could take out, that he would take on the entire Degen Roundtable team and win, like, single-handedly. He has stated that, so I'm pretty afraid of that dude.
Nah, you see, he thinks that we're gonna follow his dojo rules. I'm gonna hit him with a pipe.
I mean, to be fair, I was hacking payphones when I was 12, so like there are ways you can take people out pregame, right? So like,
hit them with the pipe, you know.
That's right. It's
so if you guys want community growth, you know, it's pretty simple. It's gonna take roughly about 3 years, and all you gotta do is onboard 30 people. All right, so just saying, roughly we got like 10,000 people in the community right now. If we all onboard 10 people each, in the first year we can have 100,000 new people. That's like less than one person a month.
I was going to say, I got a little
2. If you onboard 10 more people and everyone onboards 10 more people,
I onboarded
100,000 to 1 million.
I still have her seed
and then
by the way.
On year 3, we're going to have
we're going to turn PulseChain into Herbalife.
People.
Briz, I'm not going to call that a pyramid scheme, but if you draw it on paper, tell me what the shape is.
Zenith, I was
Amway, man.
Amway. A big fucking arrow going up and to the right. That's what it is.
I was going to say,
hey, like, gentlemen, farmer, if you don't
I was just going to say quickly, all that infighting, like, I think that people want, like, people look at Bitcoin, right, and they want those quick returns, and like, so, like, look at the people that are just gonna get their money from the Mox. What is it? The Mox Goth thing that went on.
Mount Gox.
Yeah. So like, they were forced to hold for over 10 years. A lot of them would have probably sold, right? A lot of people would just want to put in their money, and in 6 months they think they're gonna be millionaires. No,
but I think they're only
I
gonna
wonder
get
how much
cash
coin Richard
back,
Hart
though.
has on Mount Gox.
No, they're getting cash back. They're not getting Bitcoin back.
Yeah, they are getting their Bitcoin back. If you chose
some of their portions of Bitcoin.
Does Richard have any on Mount Gox?
I would be surprised if he didn't. Although at the same time, he might not be a centralized exchange guy. Real quick, by the way,
It
Not
was the only exchange back then, though.
not to interrupt, but we're going to interrupt.
All right, I'll take it from here. So, just live, we have a question from a fan of yours. Susie Q in the chat wants to ask you, what is one thing you'd like to learn to do in the next year and interview others? Part 2, how do you see traditional finance fit into crypto?
Well, the first part is, what is one thing you'd like to learn how to do next year? One thing I'd like to do in the next year. So when I first got into Hex, I got in when the price was too high, and I locked in for 5 years. So I didn't put a ton of money in because I wanted to learn how it worked.
Good call.
When that comes around, I'm gonna have some ETH set aside to unstake that, and I'm hoping that the price will be somewhere close to where I got in. But that's just going to be a readjustment once that's unlocked. And then interview others. Well, one thing I think people should do whenever they're saying, get into Hex, stake, whatever, make sure you got ETH first. Like if you're getting into eHex or anything else, make sure you got a stack of ETH and buy that shit low. Whatever you're going to do, buy it low. Understand that there's a 4-year cycle. If you're going to put it into regular finance, like fit it in with somebody that's, doing a 401k and they want to dabble with side money or whatever, just explain the risks to them and, go from there. Just explain that it's a 4-year cycle, get in low, try and get out towards the top and take your profits on the way. What was the second part of that? How do you see finance fit the crypto? That was it. What is one thing you'd like to learn how to do in the next year? Well, pull that out. And then I have some other game theory plays I'm doing with Power City and Liquid Loans. I'm trying to sell whatever I can. I've had a bike listed for sale for months. And there's a guy coming to get that. So I just need to get bigger bags and then do my game theory. So
good sir, you said the magic words.
I am not commenting on that at all. He gets a free pass at this exact time.
That's fair. So when you're talking about game theory, what is your game theory? Can you break it down for us?
So I read all the white papers and did a bunch of research, like right after I came back. Like a year after testnet, I guess it would be.
I think so. Yeah.
I missed the sacrifice by 1 week. So at the time, there was only like a few projects that were actually being talked about. Power City was one of them, and I got turned in on that. So my plan is on PulseX and getting more PulseX, and with a stake on Power City, you can get more PulseX. And then if you're holding loan, you can get more loan. If you're holding PXDC, you get more PXDC and USDL. So with a play with loan, Watt, Power City, PulseX, you can gain more PulseX. And with the buy and burn, if you got a long holding period, which I'm not even looking at this cycle. Number one, I might not get my bag in. But over the long run, with that stake on Power City, I should be able to accumulate more PulseX. So that's my game theory.
I was going to say, if you didn't get into the sacrifice phases, you were blessed.
Yeah, because I actually ended up buying below SAC. But like I said, I didn't have a big bag. And I had a car accident on Super Bowl Sunday. My neck's jacked up. I get headaches and stuff. So that set me back a few months. But hopefully I can get it all done. I have a plan. It is what it is. My problems aren't your problems.
Absolutely.
And the thing is that every problem has a reward in its completion, which you do it.
Everybody's got a story in this community.
Yeah, I got a problem. I run through eating crayons too fast. I always run out of crayons to eat.
That's why you got to snort it. That way it doesn't get on the lips.
Miss Assistant
Oh,
Editor,
purple crayon.
did you block Hex Futures from the comments? That's my YouTube channel, and I put something in there I wanted to talk about.
Hey, real quick, I wanted to also say thanks for having me on, and to everybody, even with the infighting and everything else, I've learned so much over the years, and everybody's been incredible. Even in the chat, there's always somebody quick to answer your question, or you can just search on YouTube. You can find out anything you want. So it's been great, and thanks to all you guys. And
Dude, we're lucky to have
I
you
can
here.
shout out everybody.
Yeah, dude. Welcome to coming up and all the rest. We're happy to all have you. We all are a tribe of misfits and entrepreneurs and people trying to figure out how to blaze this absolute trail. So if you need to connect with anyone, reach out to me or reach out to Zenith to get to me or however you need. But we all that are hanging out behind the scenes, not cloitering around online for tail feathers, we are trying to work. And so anything that I can help connect you with or inspire your mind or all the rest of it, please reach out and we'll figure out a time and we'll chit chat. Break bread.
I got a quick comment. I was going to say
real quick, just live. Plug your Twitter, brother.
Yeah.
Where can people find you?
Oh, it's just live on Twitter. It's 412 Traveler.
And I was gonna say this like the questions you have. This is, I believe, why RG3 built this particular chat. For anybody in the PulseChain community, Hex community at the time that had a question, he would always tell people hop on and ask whatever question you want, and the community is going to give you whatever answers they're going to give you. But like, this is a great space here for people that want to have questions. You can just hop on the chat and ask, and like the community.
I also wanted to say I hope I answered Susie's question. I do have a finance background, but I'm not used to the platform here with looking at the television over there to read the question and the phone and everything.
Just live. If you can, get to the PulseChain tour. The PulseChain tour is awesome, man. Seeing people face to face, seeing their eyeballs is we put on an amazing event in Amsterdam that I went to. I mean, they're like KC, SJ, everybody, all the people that I met there. Awesome. It was so great. The food was amazing. VIP dinner. Like I got some gear too. I was able to get a hat, got a PulseChain hat, a Hex hat. Like it was awesome. So I've been to a couple of events, and those are really good. You really feel the community. It's not just you put really some, you get the meat and potatoes.
I was gonna say, I don't know if Zenith has the link to Will's Hexican meetup place. Like, it's literally just a Telegram chat room where people create different rooms on geographics, and they just meet randomly, and you meet other people in the community. Like, I don't know what the link is, but it's I don't know if Zenith has it on hand, but like I think SJ Wild and a few of the other people they met like in LA County at a gun range. Just on that.
That's awesome.
Like, yeah, they met at a gun range and then they went out to lunch. It's amazing. Like I said, the community is freaking amazing. Like, it wasn't anybody organized it. It was here's this chat group, and you guys could create communities based on your geographical location and meet up and just have these events. Like, there doesn't need to be anybody setting it up. It's just, okay, we all live here. How about we agree on one day and we just meet here?
Do you know of a place or a website to find meetups? Because I looked, and my city is like a big tech city, so I can't understand why there aren't any. Like,
I think
CMU
that together.
Like,
but like I said, SJ is my onboard. I've known that girl 13 years or some shit at that time, and she crushes. I love her to death. But there are some other websites. I haven't been poking around at that stuff for a while, but like I said, reach out to me and I'll figure out what I can find for you. And I should be at least able to figure out one damn good human being in that region that you can connect out to.
Okay. And does anybody know of an area in South Korea?
I know.
Is there an area in South Korea? Because I lived there and I'm planning on going back at some point.
I know a couple.
There's Hexicans worldwide. So you can, like, I'm pretty sure, like, it's hard to,
we're everywhere.
Yeah,
I don't know if there is a Telegram chat for South Korea, but
Yeah.
that would be your first
Yeah, you could
place to
probably
search.
create one. Like you said, like what you could probably be the first contact there, and you could probably be the guy that organizes that meeting. That's what I mean. Like in this community, you just, if there's a need and you see that it's not being met, you can just take it upon yourself and do it. Like you can literally
check the private chat on StreamYard. I got the Telegram link to the Hexican Meetup Telegram in there. I can't post it on YouTube because it doesn't like me posting links, but it's in our private chat, and then afterwards we will find a way to distribute that to the people. That is the Hexican Meetup chat.
Well, yeah, thank you, Cena. Thank you, Cena.
I'll check that out, and I'm
Also,
going to grab a cup of coffee. Thank you.
There's a guy named Hex is the Way. He's also, I think he's got a Pulse name as well. I forget what it is, but Hex is the Way has been a Hexican for a while, and either he married South Korean or he is South Korean, and so he can speak that language. He can connect you with other people who are involved and also Korean.
Okay. So I can read Korean, but my speaking is like survival mode. Like I can order food and like tell a taxi where to go.
So you're like at expat status. And then also Crypto King is over here in the chat, and
King is the man.
He's a military guy overseas, communicates a lot with the Asian community.
You see, brother, all you had to do is ask.
And,
and
also there's
like they're here, and there's like this is why RG3 created this particular Friday night hangout. Is if you got a question, just hop on, ask, and all the Hexicans, PulseChains, they're gonna give you answers based on what they know. Like you said, there isn't a leader, but there's people we look for certain things.
For
like
sure.
if
Hey,
you want
Mrs. Producer, can you pull up that last chat? Just live. Crypto Stylist, good people right there. She has a channel. She's starting to stream again. If she's Korean, then she might be right up your alley. She's super sharp, by the way. Real smart.
She lives in London, but she knows a whole bunch of people. Stylist is a damn good friend. Quip, smart woman, exquisite. So yeah, no, there are people definitely.
And there is a channel called Hex Asians, and so that's meant to spread across that as well.
I want to see. I want to see a Hex meetup in Korea, organized by Just Live, and pictures.
I'll do one in Gwangnam, or Gwangali.
Yeah,
which
like
is
I
a
said,
beach with in a cove. There's a bunch of bars there and stuff.
Like I said, this community is amazing. You can find people.
Hey, I think he's got Korean barbecue beat, bro. I think his Korean barbecue is better than Los Angeles, bro.
They throw in LA. They throw a little bit of mix in it. You know, it's like Korean barbecue tacos. Oh my god!
Shout out to.
I don't know if I've ever seen Korean barbecue tacos in Korea.
Not in
I
Korea,
can't say that
no.
I have. No.
Exclusive LA blend.
Shout out to Dr. Moray Daraj. He's the guy who runs the Hex Asians live stream these days. And then also over in Japan is our famous security guy. What is his name? It was, come on guys. The B project, B1 project. Boner,
yeah, Pop Boner.
Papa Boner's over in Japan as well.
Did you say butt boner?
Papa Boner, BAUN,
okay.
however you want to call it.
Is he in Tokyo or Osaka? Osaka's nice.
I'm not sure, but he's prone to take jokes with his bonering.
Papa B.
It's a true fact.
He's got little dick complex.
He has the hat complex. He always wears a hat.
Yeah.
King saying he's in Hawaii now, but all the same.
That's me.
Yeah, but there's a like if you want to like there's people like they have asked these questions like you have about certain areas and have gone to like that Hex meetup chat, and then like within a couple months they themselves organize a meetup. Hey, there's a bar at this place if anybody wants to meet, and there's usually maybe like 4, 5, 6 guys that go, and you guys just have a good time and chop it up with people that are like-minded. Like it's amazing that like
yeah, that's what it is. Like when other you meet other Hexicans or Pulsicans, and you're like yeah, we're like, you know,
yeah, and
yeah, you know what I know.
Hexquisite's over in the chat saying she's in Japan as well.
That's cool, man. Japan,
Like
super clean, super clean.
yeah, like I said, they're all over the place.
Just live, bro. You're not alone, brother. You are not alone.
Yeah, all over the place.
All right, I really am going to take off. I'll be watching.
Cool.
I'll get a different background if I plan on coming on again. You know, I think.
I just before you go, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us. I know you were a little bit nervous to get on, and yeah, you didn't feel like you really had anything to say, but we are always open to questions. Everybody here loves answering questions. As you can see, these guys were all over every question you had.
Yeah, I mean,
the chat was happy.
I'm pretty enthusiastic. Too, so. I'm pretty enthusiastic about the future, and I've got a game plan, and then we'll see how it works out come, February.
That's great. We hope to see you again. And
yeah.
Go ahead and finish, and then, but have a good night. I'm gonna turn off my mic,
right,
but you
cool.
go ahead and finish.
All right, guys. See ya.
Nice to meet you.
Later, man.
Peace out, brother.
Peace out, man.
Peace out. I was once nervous too about coming out. Now they can't get me to shut up.
That is a fact, sir. I remember that shit. That is a fact. But once you get comfortable with it, you just open your mouth and it's okay, right? Same thing with
it's
acting
like
or
a
anything.
thing. Like it's kind of recorded, so it's like it's recorded for life, right? Like it's never going anywhere. So at first it's like a pause, but like at a certain point, you don't care. Like you are who you are, and you're gonna say what you're gonna say. And like if anybody takes offense to it, then what do you care?
Yeah, but I mean, like, you gonna take offense to someone on the street talking or any of the rest of that? I mean, that's all it is a soundboard without a billy pulpit. I mean, and that's what good bellwethering pieces allow you to do, is just get your message out there and be who you are. I mean, I've said it 1,000 times before, Hex would have never run without COVID, because no one would have been in their homes learning how to use a webcam, not having people to talk to, not having anything to do with that time, not having a stimulus check that they put it into. Perfect storms create perfect scenarios, and allowing those things to grow is very important. It builds bedrock, it builds utility, it builds interoperability and unison between all of those vectors. But it does create a perfect storm to make those things happen. PulseChain will eventually have that. But as I started with the stream, bigger pans better is what Zenith was trying to fucking sell me in the beginning with the tinfoil hat stuff. You just need a bigger pan. It's going to take that time. But I guess what? Bigger pans better.
It does take time, though, right? It does take time.
Well, yeah, because you're trying to fill an entire swimming pool now instead of a very small hose, right?
Like let's take video games, right? Like
Oh,
the
God.
GTA series, right? It took time for people to love that game, right? Now it's recognized. There you go. Like,
gotta keep going.
or like World of Warcraft, right? That's another game, right? That gained the following, right? It wasn't just overnight, right? They launched the first game, then they launched the second one, and over time, it built a cult-like following, right? It takes time, but people just think that, hey, I've been in here for 6 months. When Lambo, and I'm like, shut your
Oh my God, that shit fucking annoys me. Remember,
no, it doesn't work like that. Life doesn't work like that.
Well, the first blockchain was ham radio. This first Bitcoin was EverQuest gold mining.
I remember you going off on that tangent, and
I can go fucking harder. The first NFT was an attachment read write receipt on an email. The first DEX was the Azeroth fucking auction house. Now let's go deeper and deeper. So what we're doing at FanForge is we're binding real fucking entertainment, real game dev to PulseChain, starting with audio dramas. One of our founding members is Paul Lamone, cinematic finisher for Blizzard for 26 years. Oh yeah, he created this simple thing called Tyrael in Diablo 1. Every cinematic you've ever seen from StarCraft, Blizzard, all the rest of that. Oh yeah, Paul was the finisher on that. And so we're using that to bind real entertainment onto PulseChain. How many eyeballs do you think you're going to see? We've got a real game sign. We've got an audio drama by Paul. We've got all sorts of stuff. You can go to FanForge at XYZ, but that's why GameFi and what GIF and I are trying to build on the other soft side, what we're doing on GIF Tech is SocialFi. And SocialFi is where you're putting your personal personality into something to bake in your story and to get yield. So that way, if you're not even playing the game, you're still getting more inclusivity or prestige onto how your yield is made. And you know what? You're not going to swap it out and green candle and red candle and degen around as much because your story is attached to it. Like I've got a Pip-Boy signed by Jesus Christ, why can't I forget the creator of Fallout and Skyrim? Brain fart, and we'll go. Thomas Howard. Todd Howard was randomly in my pod when we were at Arcane Studios, and I was just like, oh shit, the entire company gave us collector's editions of Fallout. I was hungover from street dancing, as I did all the time back in 2017. Went to the espresso machine, 8 shots of espresso to the face, rocket fuel, splash of vanilla. You'll be just fine. So I go to Todd, and I'm like, yo, Todd, you want to sign my Pip-Boy? Now, someone could try to offer me $1 million for that. Would I sell it? Maybe I consider it, but that's my life. I put 18 years of my career to be in that exact moment to have it signed. When we became
what is the number one studio in the world right now? Because I know the ones at least that I know of were in California, like Activision, all the graphic designers and the devs. Those guys. So they're like at another level.
Graphic designers aren't in games, so you can have UI UX. There's 100 different stints of it, so I won't get into the thick of all that. But most are bought out and then traded like cattle. So like when ZeniMax, they're one of the bigger ones, right? And they sold to Microsoft, and then Microsoft merged with Blizzard Activision. And so that was Black Division. And then Microsoft bought that. But here's a fun one.
Oh, really? Microsoft bought Activision?
Yeah. And ZeniMax.
Dude, where have I been?
There was a big deal about it, whether it should be allowed.
Wow.
Yeah, well, then they laid all of us fucking off. Like the day PulseChain launched, I was working for, I can say it now, I don't say where I currently work, but I was working for Deviation Games. And I was harvested to go work over there with a new game that was founded by the small little people that started the small little company called Treyarch and the small little game called Call of Duty. I know you never heard of it.
Gosh.
And so, no, it's a small little game. And so David Anthony and Jason Blundell started out with $1 billion backer. And they said that it was all coming in. Sony had the rights for the game, but we had a movie coming and yaddy dotty, we likes to party. So again, work around.
How many H100s? How many H100s did they have? Were they using NVIDIA's? The 100?
Well, I mean, we don't use those. I mean, if you really want to go to film, you're going to be using Quadros. But the 4090 Ti is fine. I mean, shit, the next computer that I want to get is going to have 4 water-cooled fucking video cards. Do I need that? Yes, I do for my damn job. But it depends on what you're actually doing. But technically, at the end of the day, to make the game, it still has to get spit out. There's something called cert. And cert means the game can actually run on a console. So, you're hemming and hawing way too different parameters between tilling the field, planting the seed, and growing cattle on the same, role. But, at the end of the day, Deviation fell because of hubris. And Sony clawed back $200 million against them. And when they laid 80% of us off, that was the day PulseChain launched. That's immortalized in history because I was moving 5 days after that. So I had to look for a job, dust off a portfolio I haven't seen in 7 years, and pack my shit. It was a very, very annoying long 5 days. But my point is that even professionals fuck up. What matters is that how you keep going and how you keep building. There's a lot of, hell, look at Notch that made $1 billion off of Minecraft. I'm doing hot shit graphics in Unreal 3, and he's making a cube-based game. So the perfect storm for that was the right product at the right time to create a sandbox environment that led the way to Roblox. That led the way to a lot of things that came from the sandbox-esque environment. That wasn't as popular till Minecraft came on the stage. So looking at GameFi as an actual whole, not only empowers you to have stories to tell, be engaged, be attached to things, but also not strictly look at price. Also looking at your assets as more valuable because you're binding on top of them. Also gets a shit ton of eyes outside of regular crypto. You know, if you can buy a Spider-Man 1 collectible, but it's also an interactive story, but it's also an NFT, but you didn't even know you bought crypto. That's interesting.
Console games right now are they running at what, 512 right now? Is that like the top of the echelon?
What are you talking about? Pixels per minute or fucking?
Because it went from 256. Yeah, it went from 256 and it's at 512 right now, right? The console games like PS5.
I mean, it depends on what vectors that you're doing. So you got your DDR RAM, you got your processing unit. Like, what are you running off of a SSD? So that way it's flash loaded. There's a lot of more complex things that go into it than just that. But by the time that we get to that, it has to go through cert. You know, looking at something like VR.
The next consoles are coming out are going to be over 1,000, right?
Well, I mean, you have Moore's law and Metcalfe's law. So the real question is like, not to answer your question even more complexly, how many characters on screen is the crux, right? So I built a metaverse in 2003 in Unreal 3 where we were doing real concerts in real life. So the real Roxy, the real Playhouse, the Guitar Center was the Guitar Center. Griffith Observatory was the music store. CEO ran off with our money again, about 2.5 years to somebody robbed you. Just it was the wrong time for it. But look at everyone with the crazy metaverse shit now that they don't have things to do in their metaverse. That's why it's boring. So you have to look at all. No, these are real, bell ringer questions that people have to understand why certain things are sticky. But some of us from the entertainment side that are here are working to bring that shit in.
Well, I just think the next tier is going to blow people away.
I mean, did you look at my portfolio in the private chat?
I was going to say, all I know is that there's no other community that allows a retard like me to engage in conversations with people like Crypto Kool-Aid. Like, this is a freaking great community. The people that are in this community is freaking amazing.
Hey, Rob, did you check my portfolio that I put in the private chat?
I checked it way before when you posted that other.
Well, you did, but I was talking about Rob Soil.
Yeah. Good
Let me
portfolio.
see.
I'll read
I'm not looking at anything.
And I think they posted an address. Is that like was it CZ's address?
Here we go.
Yeah. So
I want to know when he gets out, if Zenith's going to drive out here, we'll go pick him up and we'll have the first live interview of him getting out hosted by Zenith.
That would be awesome. I don't know exactly when he's going to get out, but one of the guys in the postcard group, he figured out the exact address of CZ over there in prison. And so, yeah, he did pay $4 billion, but he also had to spend 4 months in prison. And so we've got his California prison address. We've got his name. We've got the correctional facility and the address. So what we're proposing is for everybody who is willing, become PayPals, or maybe it's just going to be one-sided, but attempt to get his ear, send him mail, tell him how awesome our community is.
That's not
That's
a bad.
right.
That's
Folks,
that's
write to CZ
great
if you're a sexy lady, send him a sexy pic to help him
Latina
get
can send
through
them
this
booty
prison
pics.
sentence.
PulseChain Latina can send them some of them booty pics. You know, if
I'm
anybody,
gonna read CZ. I'll read this boy.
If anybody's never driven through Lompoc, it's like a mid-sized town. Like I've driven through it a few times on my way like up north.
It's a ghost town.
It's a decent sized town. Like there's a Air Force base not too far away from it. So like it has a sustainable community. It's not like too small, but like compared to like in California, compared to like all the other big cities, it's a small place.
It's like
there's not.
It's like a PulseChain community.
Yeah, there you go. So it's like I like Lompoc. Like I usually when I'm driving up north, I usually stop there and get like lunch or like dinner late night.
You get in and out. We have an In and out there, right?
I've never been to their in. If they have, no, I don't believe they do. You got to drive further
Is that
north.
the one off the freeway? I could have sworn that. Okay.
Lamp. I
Oh
don't
wait,
believe
no, sorry,
Lamp
that's at
has it
Bakersfield.
now.
Yeah, no, that's the Bakersfield.
Yeah, I don't believe it has one. It's like it's not too far from the coast, but
all right.
it's
I'm
just
not
like
going then.
I went when it was like summer. It gets hot there. It's not a big super city, but it's a decent town. Like for California, it's a decent town. In other states, it might be like the biggest city in your town, but in your state. But yeah.
So if people are thinking about this seriously, then we've got some examples over in the Telegram group. That's the Hex Postcards Telegram group. And then we've also got some suggestions of how to massage it in there.
Do you think CZ will appreciate if I send him $1?
Actually,
put some money on his book.
There, you need
it's called putting money on his book. Zenith, don't ask me how I know.
You know, they'll open everything. Are you thinking like for commissary?
Yeah, I was just thinking for shits and giggles, but okay.
Yeah.
You know that they open everything.
You can send them stamps. You can mail him some stamps so he can write you back.
Can I send him a single cigarette?
No, but you can
It
send
would probably
stamps.
get destroyed.
You can send them a book.
to.
You can send them a book of stamps though, which in there he can trade for other commodities.
Some of these facilities, they open the stuff and they scan it, and then all you can see is a digital copy while you're inside.
Yeah, but stamps are always welcome in there. Like, no, you can
I want to
send
say
stamps.
really quick, guys. Sorry to interrupt, Farmer, but I fully support and endorse Zenith's idea of sending some delightful pictures, and I nominate Farmer to be the one to do that.
There you go. Send him them feet pics, boy. Send him them OnlyFans pics. Come on.
The last 5 photos in your phone.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I've actually called out all the Instagram models that are fake to now be cats, and I'm like, I have succeeded at life.
It's
well,
called
I mean, Zenith knows I have a golden cat rule.
It's called the happy card. You can mail them a happy birthday card, and if something were to get magically diluted,
added the cake,
dissolved into no, I said a card,
into the paper,
like a happy birthday card. If
are you sending a massive man? Like, you know, there are faster ways to
were to get dissolved onto the card. I mean, I wouldn't do it. I'm not mailing them shit, but somebody might. I would never engage in illicit behavior.
Gentlemen, I'll say this. We got Ben Armstrong on Team Hex. This is a good opportunity to add CZ to the roster.
Chip, cheerio.
Let's do it. Let's make it happen.
He's only in there for about another month, so get to it.
All right, we'll get on it.
Yeah, I actually think that's actually a very good idea. Like make them more prevalent to like our community, like that we understand that like what he went through was bullshit and it was just fucking optics.
Well, I mean, he technically also is behind the whole coin market crap, fucking listing and all the rest of that stuff. So, I mean, there are situational awarenesses. However, there is use the utility that is in front of you and use it well. So, like, yep.
Yeah, but yeah, like I don't like. I think the idea of mailing him stuff. I mean, he's probably in there bored. So if you're ever gonna catch his attention, it's now.
I am sure he's not bored. He has all of the American stupid TV to watch. There is loads of dumb Americans out there doing loads of dumb shit.
Well, actually, from what I understand, these prison systems now they have like tablets now. The inmates.
I'm sure.
So,
but I mean, hell, we can go back to Days of Our Lives, right? Or like anything old from like all the shit from way back in the day.
Yeah,
still dumb.
There's
How old is
probably
Fast
an
Times at
email
Richmond
for
High?
him. If he has access to a tablet, there's actually an email for him, and we can probably actually email him instead of writing him. Like I don't know how you would look that up, but there's a method. There's a method I believe for inmates, especially in the federal prison system.
Well, he's a billionaire.
Yeah, no, that like the tablets are like they have like they've considered them a right now. I think that because the courts have ruled that communication with the outside world, you're entitled to communication with the outside world. So
he's got Chinaman keystring.
But I'm saying like
it's telephones.
Before when you used
Big
to
prison
receive
wallet, my man.
when you used to receive calls from
Coochie
inmates, you used to have to pay
Bump
for
with it.
calls with inmates, but they took that away because the courts ruled that communication is you're still entitled, even though you're locked up, you're still entitled to communicate with people in the outside world. So they took that system away, and what they did is the people that actually were in charge of these systems of charging people for collect calls, they're the ones that actually came up with the tablet system. And the communication on the tablet is free, but what they did is they did these add-ons. So now they have like live streaming music services that they sell on there, and that's how they're able to generate money. Like they went from from prisons had a payphone system to where now people buy things on these tablets, and if you have a balance on there, you're able to email them, which is it's kind of crazy,
kind of wild.
Yeah, or so I've heard. I wouldn't know. I've never been. Don't plan on going either.
Either way, though, I think go for it.
I just realized
he likes Lompoc.
over here in the comments, there's a guy that's just live to PulseX. We were just talking to just live, were we not?
Yeah, I think he said he was going to be in the chat.
Yeah, he kind of shied away from his real screen name while he was on screen with us. That's hilarious.
I can understand that. I get it.
What were you going to say, Zenith?
God. Not sure if I can remember. Maybe just make a joke about trying to force CZ to read my chicken scratch of hand.
Oh yeah, he did said he was going to go get some coffee before he sent.
That's true. Say he went and got coffee.
Yeah, I think I don't know what he said. He was in Korea, right? So I don't know what time it is over there.
I don't think he's currently.
He's
That's
coming.
where he came from. I think that's what he meant.
He's going back to Asia.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like
Also, I want to say his name
is. It's about to be 10 p.m.
His name is one of the best I've seen. That tripped me up so bad when it first popped up.
Yeah,
I think he's one-upped Paul Sachs on this bit in particular.
Yeah, I didn't think it was possible, but I think you're right.
Well, good job, sir. Well done. Oh my god. But yeah, no, Ego Builder, dude. I think people are going to start writing CZ, so hopefully they have good things to say. I'm looking at you, Biz. Play nice with CZ. He's in jail.
I'm going to send them my feed pics. I'll do my part. I don't know if you guys are going to do your part, but I'll do my part. I'll send them my feed pics, that look like all like they're throwing up gang signs, all crossed over the others.
Sometimes whenever I've been printing stuff or doing all sorts of things and sending it in envelopes, I've got a printer here, but every time I want to use it, the ink dries out. So I just go over to Office Depot and print off color or black and white sheets. So that might be an idea. Just pop things on USB, go to the store, get them printed off. Just have fun with mail. Oh yeah, and the price of a stamp is about to go up. So go ahead and buy those stamps now.
Inflation? What?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they keep going.
Echo Builder is single-handedly saving the U.S. Postal Service.
Goddamn right.
Maybe.
Goddamn right. Well, I was going to
sorry
drop off for a smoke, but I got the call that it was last call for alcohol. So I am here.
Yes, gentlemen, I am unfortunately being the bad guy, and I'm saying last call for alcohol. So with that being said, I think we have some people with some projects and cool stuff to talk about. So Eco Builder, why don't you go first, brother? Where can the people find you? What do you got going on?
Hey everybody, this is how you spell my Twitter, and then this is my website, the mailhex.xyz, where you can request cards. I've got tons of cards over here. I'll pop them in the mail same day. You'll have them, within 3. I've got Hex Scout cards and DeFi Puzzle, which is a password puzzle game that I created. And I've got tons of Hex stickers, and then 2 more Hex cards that are pretty cool. So
the Hex stickers are cool. By the way, if you're trying to find the Patreon, correct me if I'm wrong here, but if you just Google Patreon Hex postcards, you should be able to find it. If not, I just started giving some random person $5 a month, and that's awkward.
Patreon.com/hex postcards. So all you have to do is remember hex postcards. And we're also at hexpostcards.com. So you could just navigate over to the donation portion of that. And then you could also give crypto instead. But I'm asking for just a subscription, a membership would be awesome. The smallest amount would be great. And along the lines.
I mean, send $5 a month, $10 a month, a cup of coffee, right? You know what I mean? It's easy peasy.
Yeah. And then so like I'm not asking anything for this website, these sending out the free cards and stickers. I'm not asking for anything. And then if it is that you're wanting to see samples, they're on that website. Also, they're on my Twitter feed.
Is there
is there a
crypto donation
by Richard for
address
this as well?
What's there crypto donation address on your website
for the hex postcards? There is, but I'm not allowing donations to me for the cards and stickers.
Yeah, no, yeah, except for the
hexpostcards.com. There's a donation tab at the top, and then there's a donation address both on Ethereum and PulseChain.
I think most of us would prefer to donate in some crypto.
Appreciate you.
It's very easy.
Alrighty, speaking of people that build stuff, Rob, where can the people find you? What do you got going on?
Am I up next?
Yes, sir. There's a pattern to this. I'll just say that now.
Well, hello, everybody. I'm Robert, and I started a company called Soil Energy. We manufacture aeroponic towers, and we are launching a cryptocurrency on PulseChain called Soil. And we launched already with a LGE NFT. We are going to be launching the coin on or around the 23rd of this month. And we also have a Kickstarter that's going to be starting at the end of this month that has been taken on by an agency called the Crowdfunding Formula. And they've got about 75 employees, offices worldwide. They're number one in the world for crowdfunding. Their average is $1.2 million on their crowdfund. And so they've taken us on board. And so we're really ecstatic about that because we'll most likely do 1.2 million. So that's good. We have a speaking engagement at the Miami Bitcoin conference, which is going to be going on in October. We're going to be in mid Kickstarter when that's going. So it's going to be exciting. Hope to see you guys out there. And we're just, I've been in the community for a long time. I've known Richard even before Hex. I'm happy to bring some new people to this community. That's what it needs.
Perfect. What's the best Twitter handle for people to find you at?
Everything is at Soil Energy. So the Telegram right now is probably the hottest spot to get news and information, and then also our Twitter, and those are both at Soil Energy.
Perfect. Much appreciated. Thanks for coming on, brother.
Thank you so much for having me on here, man. Yeah, I know you guys are awesome.
For sure. All right, Farmer Jay, you're up, brother. Well,
you guys
what underpass we at?
No, you guys can currently find me on my OnlyFans, selling fit pictures at the 2-incher on OnlyFans. Just look up the 2-incher on OnlyFans, and that's where you'll find me.
I was going to say that, farmer.
Other than that, I'll pass it over to Crypto Kool-Aid.
Yo. So I really don't like to share how to find me. It's really not hard, but it's just like, hey, you find me. But I'm part of the Gift Tech team, so you can go to giftforware.win. You can find out about the iBurn protocol. You can figure out about GIF and PGIF. You can figure out about Noble and Stable, which bind off of Nope and LUSD. You can figure out what's going on with Pulsar.win. You can check out fanforge.xyz, how we're binding entertainment onto PulseChain. All sorts of fun stuff. I'm just our simple Jack game dev that pops on every now and then, says hi.
Hey, he tries to be humble, but at the same time, he does cool work. I'll say that much. If you're not aware of all the stuff they're doing over there, they make good products. And
there's a lot. Come to hell down here. They all float.
That's true. By the way, you did say something very interesting, which is I heard a teaser about something Pulsar in 3 weeks.
Ish, just pay attention. You will get the nose.
2 more weeks. 2 more weeks.
Well, no, RH Max, we had a stream, and GIF is giving a hard date. So all that's coming soon. So if you don't have your homework in, get your homework in, because we're binding Ethereum to PulseChain through a very, by the way, I love the Kato. You already know that I'm swooned by Katos. But like we're doing some very interesting tech, and we have pillars behind it. Speculation, not simulation. No leaky boat. Creation, not inflation. If you use the tools correctly, you're a founder, not a holder. All sorts of good stuff. So if you go to RHMax has a great tiny URL, which is tinyurl.com learn permable. I think there's like 60 videos of us up there at that point. But yeah, pay attention. Good stuff. And eventually they send in the dancing monkey, and that would be me.
True. Go find their Telegram. It's good folks over there, and they're happy to answer questions. As far as me, I am Zenith. I go by Zenith DI on Twitter, and I'm part of the DGen Roundtable. And we are very thankful for RG3 for tossing us the keys to his whip while he's gone. And we love ghost riding this whip. Me and Kool-Aid, we do that all night long, baby. So yeah,
Zenith calls me, I'll show up. Zenith calls me, I'll show up.
There you go. Yeah, massive thank you to RG3 again for letting us host and letting us spread the message and spread some love around here. As far as me and my the team that I'm part of, we are the DGen Roundtable. You can catch us on YouTube. We do show on Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time. This week, we're talking about a lot of stuff going on. Jerome Powell came before Congress, as in the House and the Senate. 2 testimonies in 1 week. It is a lot of stuff to get through, but we are going to do it and summarize it for everybody at home and tell you what that means for the world of macroeconomics and how it factors into crypto stuff going on. Other than that, though, this is it, baby. Thanks for hanging out in the FN Hangout, Mrs. Producer. If you don't mind, I'll give you the cue. Unless, do you have anything you'd like to plug?
Yeah, I just wanted to say a couple of quick little things. First off, EcoBuilder, you said something about going to somewhere to print things because your ink keeps drying up, and I just really want to know, why don't you just buy a new printer, my friend?
The ink literally dries out on these printer copy scanner all-in-one memory card readers. So I live in a very old house, and it heats up the front room. The insulation is terrible, and so the front room heats up, and that's where I keep the printer. So every time I go out and replenish the all the different colors of ink cartridge, what is that, like a $60 maybe $80 buy these days?
Okay.
It's almost as much as buying a whole new printer.
Just buy a whole new printer then.
No, that's not how it works. It's there's like doing screen printing, all the rest of that. There's a lot of stuff that comes in. I may have a place you can actually print that stuff in. Like I said, call me EcoBuilder. We're break bread.
Well, I mean, it's like it's just a few cents. It's like 17 cents per color copy, and I don't use it very much. So boom, it's done.
Fair enough. Okay, and then the other thing I wanted to say is I would advise everybody out there to avoid Crypto Kool-Aid. I think he might be possessed over there. Something's going on with that voice thing. So just be careful, guys. Other than that, yeah, like Zenith said, check us on the VIP channel.
I only follow possessed people. In shady times, you gotta follow shady people.
That's right.
Fair enough. All right, we'll close the show out with this. Kool-Aid, if people are picking up Baldur's Gate 3, what class should they start off with?
Oh my God, there's like 100 different multi-classes you could
pick one right now. Pick.
I mean, shit, just be a sorcerer just to start, but like,
yeah.
I mean, I did 460 hours on my first playthrough, and I have like 300 other things I want to do. I was just picking up every damn rock to see what was under it for a professional opinion.
Somebody
hear me out.
Warlock.
Start sorcerer, pick up a few levels in paladin, get the heavy armor. You're set, baby. Alrighty, that is what we have for the show this evening. Thank you so much for joining us. I know this is a bit DGen Roundtable special, but how we like to close out of the show is we know that time is your most valuable asset, especially on a beautiful summer Friday night like this one. But regardless, we want to thank you very much for spending it here with us, and we are so thankful that you showed up and contributed everything that you did. Shout out to everybody in the chat, and shout out to everybody on screen. You guys are the best. So again, time is your most valuable asset. Thank you for spending it with us. And until we catch you guys next time, I hope that you play Baldur's Gate 3 responsibly.